TMI. Confessionals of the Nerd Kind. And now, your hosts, Jeff Nerfherder Chandler and Jim Kaiju Baker.
Seems like a beautiful day for a wedding.
It's a beautiful day for a wedding.
2 weddings. We have 2 weddings, and I have absolutely nothing to wear.
As long as the bride is alive during the marriage, then I'm down with it. Yeah.
Dead good, alive suck.
The judge or the pastor or whatever could open like, she's alive.
She's alive. Oh, you can't. That scene in The Bride where he screams, she's alive. You immediately launch into the Oingo Boingo song in your head.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, that's what pop culture has done to us.
Well, yeah, there's some definite, we'll get into it because there are scenes in that Bride of Frankenstein that are hysterical. And I'm like, is this intended to be funny? Or
I think it is. I think they just threw the rule book out the window because
I think I agree with you. But
James Whale didn't want to do a sequel. So he's like, if I'm doing a sequel, I'm just going balls to the wall here.
But part of me felt because we've had 100+ years or whatever of parodies of this stuff, and we're going to bring up Young Frankenstein in our first feature. You're like, is it just tainted my view of this movie?
We're doing 2 Bride movies, the Bride, exclamation point.
I
wonder if they had to do that to differentiate themselves from like the Sting, Jennifer Beals movie.
Well, I think after watching this movie, you cannot say The Bride without an exclamation point.
Yeah.
Like this has got multiple exclamation points all over this character.
And then, of course, along with it, the original 1935 Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah. Which I mentioned the other day. I caught the tail end of that on, I think, like Turner Classic Movies, but I did get the Blu-ray from my library.
Now, we are no strangers to Frankenstein and his monster.
No, he actually lives in my basement.
Yeah. So if you want to, I don't have the episode numbers handy, but just do a search on our Apple feed or whatever you're on. We've done Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein recently. Yeah. We've done Young Frankenstein recently.
As a 5-bucket.
And we've done The Bride with Sting and Jennifer Beals and Clancy Brown, by the way.
That's right, Clancy Brown. Hey, SpongeBob.
But today, it's all about Maggie Gyllenhaal, Jessie Buckley, and Christian Bale.
And this is only her, Maggie Gyllenhaal's, second feature film as a director. Did you get gifts for the bride and groom? Because I think Hairspray would be perfect for the bride. And I got some D batteries for the groom.
Well, I did give them a nice little envelope because it's costing more and more to go to the movies these days. So there's my gift to them right there.
Yeah, there you go.
But before we get into The Bride, do we have news?
We do have some news. First and foremost, Jim, you and I are both collectors. We like the little odd trinkets around the house. And we've spoken about this auction house before, Prop Store, which is in the UK. And I guess they have a new auction up, and available is a one-of-a-kind item which will fit nicely into your collection. The life-size mechanical butt-birth rhinoceros from Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls.
With the stretched out skin in the back?
No. So here's the deal. So that movie came out in 1995.
Yeah.
As we all know, these props are not made to survive. George Lucas, I think, was the smart one where he actually kept this stuff archived. But over time, I mean, styrofoam and latex, they dry up. They become brittle. So this life-size screen-used rhinoceros is currently at auction. And when I read the description, I don't know who's going to want this thing. But, well, first of all, if anyone is not familiar, there's a very famous scene in When Nature Calls. Ace Ventura is hiding inside a fake rhinoceros. He's trying to search for the missing white bat.
Yes,
I think that is the
and the big in joke was that he had just played the Riddler, so that was a very 1995 you wouldn't necessarily pick up on that now.
I'm going to say right now, 95, those mid 90s were very good to Jim Carrey.
Oh, yeah.
He was large and in charge, and he was everywhere. So the character is hiding inside this fake rhinoceros, and the fan system breaks. So he starts sweating profusely, and eventually he has to escape out the back port.
But not before, but he strips naked first.
Oh, yes, he has to take
hot.
all of his clothes off, and then pretty much comes out its butt in a birth scene, which is horrific and hysterical all at the same time, because there's a family on safari and the kid becomes witness to this thing.
Yeah, and the mother, of course, puts her hand over the kid's eyes.
Yes.
And Jim Carrey is mewling and making all these noises as he's coming.
As Jim Carrey does. So this thing is 10 feet from tip to tail, but it was built solely for like the exterior shots. But over the years, like the fiberglass is, as I mentioned, is all dried up. The hydraulic hinges don't work. The legs have been replaced because I guess at one point they were movable. Yeah,
it walks like in a very awkward way.
So a lot of this stuff has been refurbished. It's a refurbished rhino, as it were. And yes, the latex butt skin has been replaced, likely due to the original being torn during filming. Grates in the nostrils have gone missing and were replaced. And what can only be described, I don't know, sympathetic paint touch-up work. What is sympathetic paint touch-up? They felt bad for it?
Maybe you add more detail than you would have because you just, feel like you need to bring it back to life. I don't know.
So anyways, the estimated value in this is $6,000 to $8,000. And as we stand right now, March 15th, 2026, it is current bid at 20 grand.
Wow.
Yeah. With special shipping required, as noted. So somebody is walking away with this is like the Maltese Falcon, though.
I would think that this is like a pickup only kind of a deal. How do you ship this unless it's like on a pallet?
Yeah. You're going to pay 20 grand for this thing. I mean, if you're lucky, if you end up winning the auction, you're probably going to pay twice that for shipping.
Yeah. You have to, drive a U-Haul truck across the country to get it.
And you know what? If I drive across country, I am putting this in a crate and I'm sticking the head out the back and just driving down the road loud and proud. Or either that or put it so it's butt first. So that's up there. If you go to the prop store, I think it's .uk. There's a ton of movie props, but I found
this is 20,000 pounds or $20,000?
No, this is dollars. This is in US dollars as of now.
Okay.
And who knows? By the time we get done recording this, it may be more.
Probably.
Somebody's listening right now going, I need that. So I found that fascinating that, where it probably should have been thrown away. Someone's like, we'll keep this and maybe someone will want it one day. Maybe it's that kid who played the little tourist. Yeah,
to deal with his childhood trauma from seeing that on set.
You got to face it head on, man.
Yep.
I look at it first thing in the morning when I get up. Coming off that, we got an announcement that our beloved hero, Ash, Bruce Campbell, has announced that he will be backing away from any current appearances and conventions. We're heading into convention season right now. He has announced on X that he has a cancer diagnosis. Now, he said it's treatable, but not curable type of cancer.
We wish him the best, and we wish him the best in his fight against it.
Absolutely. I mean, the guy's only 67.
Yeah.
So, he's not that much older than us.
And he's a hero to all of us in the nerd community.
I'm sure that, he shows up at these conventions. People line up around the block.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we wish him well. Obviously, he's stepping away right now to take care of himself, which is what you should do. And hopefully he'll be back. He's got a new movie coming out, Ernie and Emma. So he is looking to get out as soon as possible to promote that. So, but unfortunately, if you were signed up for one of these conventions where he was going to be showing up this summer, he did cancel. So that's unfortunate. And I'm just going to bring these up. These are news items that we have talked about in the past that all now have updates. We had mentioned that Buffy the Vampire Slayer was getting a reboot. and they were going to bring in Sarah Michelle Gellar, and she was going to train a new Slayer. Apparently, that is no longer moving forward at Hulu.
Sarah Michelle Gellar herself posted a video.
Yeah. Well, you figured she was probably pretty excited to.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is her iconic role.
And making the show without the troublesome ex-showrunner is probably a plus as well.
So I don't know. I mean, can they take this to another studio? Because we also got an announcement that Paramount is now officially not moving forward with the new G.I. Joe movie, which we had talked about, and they teased at the end of the last Transformers movie that they were going to bring in this Hasbro verse. So that to me, you can't take to another studio.
No, and Buffy, now that I think about it, is under 20th Century Fox, which is Disney, which is Hulu. So yeah, you can't take that to
Does that
studio.
make her a Disney princess?
I think it does.
Oh, that would be killer. Literally. She could show Vanellope how to stab vampires.
A Buffy Dark Ride? Come on.
Let's do it. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but that is all the news I have.
I got a couple.
Oh, cool. Let's go.
I'll start bad news first, so I can end on good news. Unfortunately, The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs has been canceled by Shudder.
Now, isn't this like one of their premiere shows? You just saw them live.
I did. They came. They came local.
Do you think they knew they weren't going to be going back?
They must. It can't just be like okay, this is the last episode of your season. You're not coming back. They must have at least some kind of foreshadowing.
Do we know why though? Because I can't imagine outside of these movies that they get are not like highbrow.
No, well, Joe Bob did an interview with Variety after the news broke, and he said it was not his decision, but of course he's very diplomatic. He's like, I thank Shudder for putting me back on the air for 8 years. They do have, this is the last episode, just aired last week. It's the last episode of the normal series. Shudder is still committed to 4 specials throughout the end of the year. But Joe Bob says come January 1st of 2027, he is a free agent. So it sounds like they are shopping the show to other. Yeah, I think that he is the main attraction of people subscribing to Shudder. I was
gonna say Shudder. This is like people going over to Sirius XM because they want to listen to Howard Stern. Like there's nothing else there to drive it. Now there is.
I think that come January 1st or whatever, the morning after his last special airs, you're going to see a huge drop off of subscriptions.
Well, why am I going to pay for this?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Huh. Well, that's a bummer.
But so that's the bummer. And the good news is that Arnold Schwarzenegger has confirmed that he is not only working on a sequel to Predator, but they're also looking at Conan the King, which has been teased since 1982.
He's been mentioning this for the last 40 years. I gotta do King Conan.
I think he's going to do it.
It's going to be Conan.
Well, it's got to be, one of these legacy. He can't be there chopping heads off.
He's going to be sitting there in the chair, just like we saw him at the end of the one movie, and he's just going to be telling a tale. He's going to be like Mary Shelley, just telling you what happened. Here's how I see it.
Probably teaching the new Barbarian.
Oh, can we bring back the Barbarian brothers? No, I think one of them's dead, right?
And he sits them down and he says, "You go into the town, hear the lamentations of the women."
How old is he now?
He's up there.
He's got to be in his 70s.
Yeah.
Listen, more power to him. If you can crank out one more, if you can just show up as Dutch in one of these Predator movies, I'm in.
But that'll give us an excuse finally to cover 1982's Conan, because we haven't done that yet.
We've never done it, yeah.
No.
That's amazing that we have not covered that.
And I think he's also considering a sequel to Commando.
What? That's just because he walks around with no pants on at home.
He's hitting all of them.
Yeah. Well, is this what happens now? These guys get to a certain age and they just, Harrison Ford's doing the same thing.
It's their version. It's the movie star's version of the midlife crisis.
Yeah. Well, it's the band on the final tour. One more
Not
time.
exactly midlife.
No.
crisis.
No, these guys went through that really early. I am fascinated if any of those come to fruition, especially the Conan. I saw Warwick Davis just got some big award in the UK. I should have mentioned that. That's big. Warwick Davis. Anybody know? Willow? Wicket the Ewok.
Wicket. Yeah, I was trying to think of what his Ewok
Wicket,
name
Wicket
was.
the Ewok. He was also he's in every Harry Potter movie. Maybe I'll bring that up next episode.
I think he works in Gringotts in the Harry Potter
correct.
movies.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah. All right. Are we heading to the wedding? You got your tux
Yeah,
on?
but before we go to the wedding, I want to talk a couple of trailers I saw.
Oh, already?
Disclosure Day. Steven Spielberg.
I have not. I've seen the teaser that dropped, I think, around Super Bowl. I have not watched a new trailer, but I've heard some very fascinating hypotheses on what this may be. And I'm curious to see if you're leaning the same way.
Well, it made me laugh out loud because there's a scene in the trailer with Emily Blunt, and she's a weather person on a news broadcast. And she's giving the weather, and all of a sudden she starts like speaking in alien tongues, like on camera.
Oh, just like Jessie Buckley.
And she's doing like Predator tongue rolls and stuff.
Just like Anchorman.
It's like she's doing these things, and they play the scene like it's like straight horror because she can't control what this is.
She's aware of what,
but she's like being puppeted.
Okay. Right.
So I could have sworn in all that, because obviously it's alien language and she's talking in the alien language on TV. Yep. I could have sworn I heard a fart in there. like you see her like eyes widen, like when the fart comes.
That wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was the alien.
That was the aliens.
That was Jim Carrey coming out my backside.
But it looks to me like it's very Secret Invasion-ish.
Oh, is that a good thing?
I don't think so.
Okay. Do you want to know? Because I've seen screen captures of this trailer, and the overwhelming sentiment is that this is a sequel to Close Encounters.
Oh.
Including a farmhouse that looks very much like the one in which little Barry runs away from. Okay. And that there's even like the cloud sequence where you can see the kind of like the lights inside the cloud is reminiscent of the scene before the mothership shows up over Devil's Tower.
Interesting. I didn't hear that. No.
And if Richard Dreyfuss comes out of that ship, I will be losing my mind. If he is going back, if he is going to go back, Spielberg's talked about this ad nauseum over the years, that he could never make a movie like Close Encounters of the Third Kind now, because he was just so naive, not only as a human being, but also as a director. So I would be curious if he's going back to this. Well,
now the other trailer was, of course, Hail Mary. There's now yet another trailer, because it seems like we've been seeing this trailer for 6 months.
Yeah, it was I feel like it was supposed to come out the end of last year.
First, the teaser trailer, I guess it was, just shows hints of the alien's hand. Mm-hmm. Ryan Gosling saying, like, into his journal, I met an alien today.
Yes.
You never really see it beyond that, but it is all over this new trailer to the point where, like, do I need to see this now?
I know we talked about this. We're not going to cover it, but I will be seeing this. Yeah, it's like I said, as soon as I saw the extended trailer, I'm like, oh, Mac and Me would just be hysterical to pair with.
And there's even a scene in the trailer where they're sitting together looking at the Empire State Building. I'm like, did that just give away the ending?
Maybe this alien has some kind of like he's got like the sphere up there. And
that would mean that they saved the sun and now they're taking a vacation on Earth.
Or maybe they're watching one final sunset before it explodes.
Perhaps, but
I don't know. I'm in. I'll let you know next episode.
And
what else did I do?
We're getting yet another Mummy movie.
This looks horrific.
But yeah, this looks pretty hardcore. So
Yeah, hardcore in the sense that no, thanks. I will pass. What's that? You found my daughter in an ancient sarcophagus? What was she doing in there? I don't know. Okay. Questions. We're gonna have plenty of questions with this movie as well.
all right. So going from The Mummy
To
to
the bride.
The Bride.
No, you got to go. The bride.
The Bride.
The bride.
And then,
Surprise.
yeah, it's like Pee
It's a
Wee.
surprise to her, by the
It's
way.
Pee Wee's word of the day. The Bride.
The bride.
Hey, Conky.
Hey, Pee-wee. Terry.
It opens up with a legend. In 1818, Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein on a dare.
Okay, is this the story is that she wrote this the same night that Bram Stoker wrote Dracula? Is that
I
correct?
don't think so. I don't think Bram
I think
Stoker
that-
was there.
I think that they were at a party. It's just like
But
one of these
it
stupid
was
fun facts.
It was Byron. It was Mary Shelley and her husband. That's as far as I know. I don't
Okay.
think Bram Stoker.
Maybe that's fake news that's been out. I don't know. I didn't research it. I just questioned it.
Hmm.
She was 18. So that would have been, what'd she write this? 1816?
But it opens up darkened studio, or
Yeah.
for lack of a better term.
She's like in one of these little hidden chambers that Houdini sneaks out of.
Yep. And just to introduce herself, she does like the beginning of a knock, 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 knock. Who's there? Mary Shelley. So, okay,
Yeah.
this is Mary Shelley I'm looking at, which is
How old are knock knock jokes, by the way? 1800. Who is it? The Pope.
this is making this movie so meta. But if, of course, if you think back to The Bride of Frankenstein, it was as well.
Okay,
which is amazing for its time.
So I agree with you. And when I watched this, so I watched The Bride first and didn't watch The Bride of Frankenstein until second.
Same.
And it has been a very long time. I did catch the tail end of it, but I have not seen the movie in a very, very long time. And you're right. You're watching this and you're like, wait a minute. So she's meta in the sense that she's out in front and she's telling you that here's the story. And, oh, yeah, by the way, I'm a ghost and I'm going to possess this street hooker
that she never finished. She was never allowed to finish Frankenstein the way that she wanted to. And she's been dead for centuries, but she can't get the story out of her head. She's in limbo here. Yeah,
she's limbo. And so I had some big issues with this, but then after watching The Bride of Frankenstein, I'm like, holy shit, this is actually genius.
It makes sense because it makes no sense.
Yeah. This bothered me through the whole thing. So I'm like, hold on. So you wrote the book of Frankenstein, you created this, and yet he's a real person who you're now dealing with, and you're the ghost inside this girl who he just happens to dig up as his bride. There's a lot of coincidences.
It raises questions about storytelling versus reality that it's too early for me to wrap my head around. So
right. I saw this on Thursday. I was forced to go. It's only a handful of showings. We're now in its second week here.
Yeah.
And I had to go to a 7:40 showing on Thursday. I grabbed my buddy Frank and we made it to the theater in time. There was one other person in this theater. And if I had seen this yesterday and we had talked about it today, I probably would have been crapping all over it. But because I've had time to kind of let it mellow and just like, I think I have a different perspective on this now.
Yeah, I saw it Wednesday, so that was
okay. So you're the same way,
ago.
Which is
yeah.
So you've kind of lived with it for a couple days because it is like I mentioned this to a couple people and I'm like, oh yeah, I saw The Bride last night, and the first thing people want to know is, was it good? And I just look at them, I'm like, I don't know, I can't tell you that yet, but I can't stop thinking about it, which to me is maybe an indication that it's okay.
Well, an indication to me that it's okay is that once it's over, I tell myself I need to see that again.
Yes.
If I didn't care or hated it, I'd be like, okay, one and done. I'll move on with my life. But I want to see this again once it's available.
And especially after watching The Bride of Frankenstein, which I thought at the time was very on the nose when we decided on this pairing. But I think it's like you see the genius of what Maggie Gyllenhaal is trying to do with this thing. So I'm like, oh, okay.
It's imminently watchable as well.
There's some serious flaws with this movie. Aesthetically, it's all over the place. Tonally, it's all over the place. And she sets up themes that don't always carry over or have a resolution. And especially when you get into like that feminism and that women empowerment thing. But I will say I listened to another podcast, Jock and Nerd podcast, and they reviewed this. And I normally don't listen to a review before I see a movie, but I just happened to, I said, screw it, I'm going to listen to see. And they all hated this. So I think my expectations were like, all right, it's 2+ hours. These guys shit all over.
Did they even see it is the first question.
No, they did. Yeah. They knew enough about it that yeah, they get into the nitty gritty of it, but all three of them were just kind of dismissive of it. And I think it's because, like I said, you see it and you're watching, you're going, what am I watching here? What is going on? But when you compare it to The Bride of Frankenstein, you see what she's trying to do.
First of all, I don't listen to other movie podcasts because I'm very afraid that they'll be better than us. So I don't.
They're all far superior. I can't listen to myself in any way, shape, or form, especially those older episodes. I just don't shut up.
Mary Shelley.
Yep.
The words are starting to come, she says, from this limbo because she wants to finish her story. And in order to do that, she needs to create a character of the bride. So this is where it gets a little ambiguous, more than a little ambiguous, because she focuses on, we'll call her Ida, she says. And this Ida is at a dinner party with obviously bad people.
Yeah,
and,
this is interesting. This whole opening sequence is again, you're just like, what am I watching right now?
Yeah. And you learn a little bit later that these are gangsters. And
the girls are all like call girls, but they're undercover call girls.
Yeah, at least she is.
At least Ida was.
Ida is. And by the way, that's a spoiler. If you're listening and you expect us not to spoil this, then you're going to be disappointed. So watch it and come back. Yeah.
This episode's going to spoil like Frank's skin in the sun. He's got to stink, right?
Well, he said that he stinks. He apologizes at one point. I'm sorry for the smell.
I thought that was me. Yeah. Because he's over 100 years old. So Mary Shelley did not write The Bride of Frankenstein. She only wrote the one book, but there is a chapter dealing with the fact that they were going to try and create a bride for him.
And they, took that idea and ran with it in 1935.
Because the sequel to the movie is a standalone. They just took it, and that was, well, we'll get into that.
This is fascinating because when she's at this dinner party and Mary Shelley takes her over, it's like two personalities in one. She's transitioning from Mary Shelley with this very deep, very coarse English accent, and going back to Ida, who doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah, and
Mary Shelley
it's almost like the newscaster you were talking about speaking in tongues.
Yeah, although she's got her. Well, maybe she does break some winds.
She definitely had a thesaurus with her.
Yeah, she was burping. Maybe she does break some winds.
Who knows
too.
What those mobsters were eating?
But anyway, she's calling out the mobsters as Mary Shelley because she has no fear, right? As Mary Shelley.
So can we just mention both of these characters are played by Jessie Buckley?
Of course, because it's in the same body.
Mary Shelley's in black and white, and she's very prim and proper, kind of, the way she speaks compared to Ida's more street level.
And in the beginning, not only are you seeing Mary Shelley speak through Ida, but you keep transitioning into the limbo where Mary Shelley is talking through her and talking to you. And
this carries throughout the movie. Every now and again, they'll remind you, oh, yeah, by the way, don't forget, I'm in charge of this body. I'm still controlling the narrative here.
And she announces to the audience, here comes the motherfucking bride. And
up come the credits, and you're just like, oh, I'm on board.
Yeah.
Like, this is just like, the whole sequence, she's writhing around on the table. She's it was crazy. The old man's trying to feed her an oyster. That's what sets her off.
she points at the head gangster who's at the bar, and she's calling him out loudly.
And you know he's the head mobster because he's eating with his hands.
And you know he's a bad guy because he's the evil president from the Superman movie that just came out with the crazy hair.
Oh, I forgot that. I don't even remember that.
And he's also the director from Wonder Man. Same guy. The movie director.
Shit. Oh,
This guy's in everything.
I did not pick up on that.
She's calling out my name in front of this whole restaurant. Get rid of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take her out back and cut her tongue out.
So the two guys, they are about to do that, but they don't have to because she falls down the stairs.
Well, I think she was kind of helped. Yeah. She was unhinged. You want to talk about some unhinged characters. And when we introduced to Frankenstein, he's a little unhinged as well.
But as they're like beating her around on the top of the stairs, one of them says she's possessed. And she is.
Well, she is, literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
That damn Mary Shelley.
Yeah.
Women's rights. Push her down the stairs.
Yeah.
And this is horrific. This is probably one of the more horrific scenes in this whole movie.
But they make it seem like he accidentally knocks her down the stairs. I think they should have went full out, right? They should have. Their intent was to kill her.
Yeah, they're mobsters.
But this is terrible. Her head hits every stair.
No, yeah, the leg breaks or
in slow motion.
Snapped. Down she goes.
And meanwhile, across town in Chicago, Frankie. Well, no, not Frankie, the monster.
Well, he calls himself Frank.
Yes, yeah, he is called Frank.
He's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He's knocking on your door.
Yeah, he wants to see a doctor about his maybe she's a dermatologist.
She is a mad scientist in Annette Bening. I think I'm going to say this right now. I think everybody involved in this movie is acting their asses off. I can't say enough about Jessie Buckley.
Well, look at the other movie. That is the acting style of 1935, really. But they are just hamming it up.
Yeah.
But she is Dr. Euphonious, and we have Dr. Pretorius in the other. Yeah, no, movie.
There's a lot. There are a lot of parallels here, which you can only assume is intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Frank he's I don't know if he's read up on her articles or whatever, or how he actually knows her, but he wants
help. Like she had written a couple books that he had read.
He wants help because the way he puts it, I was reinvigorated, let's say.
Reinvigorated. So he's been around, and she even surmises, she goes, that would put you at like 100 years old.
Because this movie takes place in the 1930s.
Yeah. And he's unhinged. I need a companion.
But she examines him, and that's when he says, I apologize for the smell. And from that point on, it could have been like smell-o-vision because
you couldn't get it over it. What does this guy smell like? Like boiled hot dogs.
Oh, like like rotting meat.
Yeah.
So is this the Frankenstein that ended up in the Arctic in the book, or is this the one in the old mill in the movie? I don't know. I'm not really sure.
I don't know. Either way, he made his way. This is. I mentioned the fact that this looked to me like it could very well go to that Joker Folie à Deux.
I think it has a lot in common with that.
Yes. Yeah. There's a lot. There's a couple dream dance sequences, which are interesting choices.
Which are brilliant.
Bonnie and Clyde, I think, is a very reminiscent.
I think kind of this. I am a sucker for couples on the run road chase movies.
Yeah.
Natural Born Killers, Bonnie and Clyde.
The Born Killers is probably another good comparison because they just leave dead people in their wake.
Yeah.
Like they can't help themselves. It's like people are just throwing themselves at them.
They enter the annals like of all these other cinematic couples, Martin Sheen and Sissy Spacek. So once it became clear to me that this was going to be like an On the Lam movie with these two, I was even more in than I was previously.
Yeah. I'll even compare it to Dick Tracy. Maybe aesthetically. Because, like I said, tonally, you think you're getting something and then you launch into these dance sequences. I mean, I'm going to put this out there right now. We get a Putting on the Ritz Young Frankenstein reference. And I'm just like, this is where we're going. And I'm like, all right, I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's just It's wild. We'll get there. But my problem is that he's so unhinged when we're first introduced to him. Like I need this now. You need to make me a companion. And then when he gets one, he's like the dog that catches the car. What do I do with it now? I've been chasing this thing for so long. I don't know what to do with it. And it's a little too easy. I will say that. When you watch The Bride of Frankenstein, there's a lot of work that goes into reinvigorating somebody. These guys just pull a switch and they're like, all right, there she is.
But she is, her scientific curiosity gets the better of her. And I think she feels sorry for him because, he's like, this isn't about getting laid. This is about loneliness. Yeah.
Yeah. I need somebody who's going to live as long as I live.
Yeah.
This is like the Highlander. I can love somebody, but eventually she's going to die.
And then she, sends him off after their initial meeting, and he goes to the movies. And as you said, whenever he goes, he has this favorite movie star who's played by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. How about nepotism right there?
Yeah.
Huh? How many movies did this guy make? I counted at least 5 times he goes to the theater, and it's a different movie every time.
But he's a song and dance man, this actor.
Yeah.
And whenever
Ronnie Reed.
And whenever Frank goes to the movies, he sees himself as one of the background male dancers in Top Hat and Tails in the background.
By the end of the movie, he's the lead guy. So once he has
the bride,
So he's like this fantasy guy. He's like, he goes in the theater. He can take off his mask. He can take off his hat.
And he recites the dialogue. He sits there and talks to the film because he knows the dialogue.
Do you think he has a Regal Unlimited card? Because eventually that's got to be expensive.
I would hope so.
Where's he getting his money? Oh, we know. He's pilfering the damn wishing wells, the fountains in town.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's at one point she's like, sees him taking off his clothes and she thinks he's going to wash up, and no, he's stealing all the pennies out of him.
Imagine pulling that Regal card out and it's got pus from his wounds on it.
Where do you think he keeps it?
Oh.
Yeah. Nice to see you back, Frank.
And then Euphonious questions, because the way that she is envisioning doing this is just taking a whole body and bringing it back. And she asks him, why would Dr. Frankenstein sew pieces together? Yeah. And his answer was maybe he was trying to create something beautiful.
Yeah. She's like, why don't we just go find it? And of course they immediately dig up the most beautiful dead person in the entire town, who just happens to be possessed by Mary Shelley.
Yes.
So there's a little really?
Well, here's the thing is that it was always in my mind that we are watching a story, that this is not supposed to be in a reality. This is Mary Shelley's story that she is actually inhabiting.
Yeah, and I think this is the one problem, which is you should have an epilogue of Mary Shelley. We don't get it in The Bride of Frankenstein, and we don't get it really here either. Explaining that, it's kind of like Thor, Love and Thunder. It's like this is all coming from, he's telling a story.
I think the movie doesn't lower itself to tell you twice. You were told at the beginning and you go with it. Yeah.
But like I said, at first glance, and you take it just as it's being presented, and you're like, what the hell is going on here? But then when you compare it to the other one, I think I'm like, all right, now I get it. Because we do get that with The Bride of Frankenstein. It starts with Mary Shelley telling the story.
Once they pull the body out, Frank is just like, no.
She's too pretty.
Yeah, she's too pretty. Let's start again tomorrow. And so you feel for this guy because he's
already out of my league.
He realizes something that Boris Karloff did not in the first movie. And you just, the pathos that you feel, Christian Bale is just amazing.
Yeah, no, agree. Say what you will about him. He inhabits us. Like I said, everyone here is acting their ass off.
Sometimes I can't, when I watch Christian Bale in a movie, I can't get that story about him yelling at people being in his eye line.
Sure.
But I forgot about it here. I'm watching The Monster. Yeah.
You are, yeah. And the makeup is spectacular. In that scene where the doctor is examining him and she's fascinated with all these gaping holes and things sewn together, and she's just like giddy looking at him. And she, at one point, she even refers to him as a monster. And then she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Was that disrespectful?"
But of course, there's a moment where they don't think that it's worked when they zap her. She doesn't get up, and then of course she wakes up a couple of seconds later when they turn away, and she immediately
You make a yummy sound? I didn't make a yummy sound. Did you make a yummy sound? Because that's the other thing too. Between these two movies, you cannot stop thinking about Young Frankenstein, because especially in the original 35, that whole sequence with the blind violinist, and
It's funny. It's like
Hackman.
They took a lot of scenes in Young Frankenstein from that, shot for shot.
Yeah, no, and it's fantastic. Like I said, you're watching this, and we launch into this putting on the Ritz dance number.
Yeah,
and he does putting on the Ritz, and you're just like, really? Am I? Do you think they were in the studio going, "Is this too much? Should we pull back a little bit?"
I wonder if that was in the script or if that was just done on the day. He's like, we're this far.
We got to do it.
We've got to do it. Yeah.
We got to do it. Yeah.
But she vomits black bile, which from that point on stains her face, which is such a striking visual.
It looks like a unicorn coming out of her mouth.
It does. It's got a very unicornish shape, but this must have been a nightmare for the continuity.
Oh, absolutely. You got to paint that thing on every day.
Exactly the same spot.
And she never loses it.
She had spots all down her face beyond that.
Spittle.
Mm-hmm. And then her lips were black from it.
Her lips were black. And at one point someone said, your lips are dirty. She's like, "Oh, yeah, okay."
And then she sticks out her tongue, and the tongue is black.
She's got it on her hands. So I guess because it's one body and not sewn together, so you don't have the sutures and all the other stuff that even when you watch The Bride of Frankenstein, like her sutures are very underplayed. They're subtle underneath her chin. A lot of times you can't even see them. Around the wrist, I think. So this is just a very artistic choice.
So that was interesting because we'll get into it with the second movie, but I was thinking, was this a suicide? How did this girl die in Bride of Frankenstein? The scene goes a little bit better than it does in the Bride of Frankenstein once Ida / Mary / bride wakes up.
/ Penelope.
Yeah.
Because they immediately lie to her.
Yeah.
Which, just say you're dead like me. No. They tell her she was in an accident. That's why she has no memory. Wait, we're engaged? Oh, how'd you ask me? I had a ring. I gave it to you. You said yes.
Henry and Pretorius could have taken some notes on this, on the way to tackle this. But she falls. And he tries to help her up, and she's like, hands off. She's still untrusting of him. And very wisely, Euphronius tells him to leave. Let me sit here with her for a while. Yeah. Just you have to leave right now.
Girl to girl. We didn't mention Greta either. Greta is Euphronius's
the maid
/ help.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we have a counterpart to her in the original movie as well.
Yeah.
The screaming old biddy.
The maid here is almost comic relief, but not what was her name is Minnie, I think, in the other movie.
Yes, Minnie. Yeah, this was Greta.
So now when Frank's at the movies, now he's, very happy. And now he sees himself as Fred Astaire up there dancing on screen.
That's it, man. I'm leading man status right now.
So it's Euphronius that lies to her, that says that she's been in an accident and that they're engaged to be married. So she's in on the crime here against Ida.
I just brought this chick back to life. Least I can do is fill her head with nonsense. Frank's happy.
But he comes back.
I don't know.
But it's very contentious at the beginning. He comes back after the movie. She's asleep on the slab.
I want nothing to do with you. Get away from me.
Yeah, she wakes up and attacks him, and
Well, she's got to have flashbacks to what she was and how she was treated, and I think is part of this feminine empowerment thing.
But he does a dance like he's learned in the movies for her in the lab to calm her down.
Yeah, the one thing we didn't mention is in that fall, her foot did break, so they had to put her in a brace. So she's got this brace on her leg. Yeah, it's pretty well. I'm going to say visually, this is very stunning. It is very stylized. The scene where they're bringing her back to life is yeah, just the camera work is spectacular.
It
But
is.
it's like I said, tonally, you're like, what are we going for here? Because it does shift. And like I said, he gets what he wants, and then immediately is like, I can't handle this.
In that lineage of like your natural born killers, which is an insane movie. I think it's by design that this is like a patchwork, just
Yeah.
like Frank is.
Yes. No, I agree with that. That this is an amalgam of different styles, much like the main character. Yeah, he is pieced together just like this movie is. And if you
Yeah.
look at it like that, and that, going back to this review, I read these guys are like, listen, if you go into this just realizing that it's just all over the place, you might enjoy it. And I think that's why I did enjoy it, because my expectations were low. I didn't, don't get me wrong, when the movie ended and it ends again on the monster mash, and you're just like, what? Okay. All right.
But this is what you're promised. This is what you're promised in the trailer, and the trailer is what made us both excited to see this. So,
because it's all over the place. And Jessie Buckley you can't keep your eyes off this girl.
yeah,
She is amazing. And there's a sequence where Frank gets her out and they go to this nightclub, which he's passed numerous times. Doesn't go in, but he always passes it. He hides in the theater and watches this, and he wants to be a part of it, but he never does.
yeah. But
He lives in the shadows.
he takes her to the movies. She wants to go into the nightclub, and he
As
doesn't.
they're passing by it,
Yeah.
which he's walked by a couple times. And he just sat at the table, drinking his drink, watching her dance. That's my wife. That's my wife over there. As she's being molested by a bunch of hooligans. And so he has to step up. He has to step in, take her out. And these two knuckleheads follow them out and start beating up on Frank. It's like, dude, I would take one look at that guy's face and be like, you know what? We're cool.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other dames in there.
But this is also around this time, because I think she says it first in the lab when they try to give her breakfast. She says, I'd prefer not to, which is what she says repeatedly throughout the movie.
Yeah.
So she's giving the bride in 1935 didn't have her own voice, but she
had a hiss.
She had a hiss, but she absolutely, this bride does. And she will tell you when she does not want to do something.
Come on.
Which makes the ending that more poignant, because it is a love story at heart.
Yeah. Yeah. She does kind of relent at some point.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, this guy's not giving up on me.
Yeah, I'm too used to him by now, so I might as well.
She doesn't know anything. Well, especially once she realizes what really went down. Yeah, the sequence where these two guys follow them out of the dance club, and they're like in a tunnel, and they just start pounding on him and grabbing her and just molesting her, and Frank's having none of it. He takes these two guys out, slaughters them. It's pretty ugly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The curb stomp, as he said.
The curb stomp. And you can't watch that without even thinking about that damn American History X. Ugh.
I think it's important when characters like this that are just reprehensible, for the brief moment that they're still alive, realize the error of their ways. The first guy didn't.
That millisecond, yeah.
The first guy didn't really get to do that because Frank took him out like against the wall, almost immediately. But the other guy at least was a little bit more satisfying because he's trying to crawl away. Yeah.
But at the same time, and immediately somebody takes your picture. So now they're on the run, and you're like, here we go. This guy just wants to be left alone. No, I can't have it. Always got to have pitchforks and friggin' fireworks follow me.
But this is the first time he gives her the option to leave. He says, I don't want to get you in any more trouble. You just go, and I'm going to go my own way. And she chooses to follow him.
Yeah. We get a choo-choo train chasing.
Yeah, because just like Frosty the Snowman, maybe they're going to the North Pole.
Karen, not Karen.
They're sitting right next to Frosty and Karen. So they're hiding on this boxcar. The police are looking for them or for just checking the boxcar? I don't know.
It made it sound like, yeah, because they were chasing them, but now they're on a train bound for New York, and you're like, well, at some point, someone just has to give this up, because now they're front page news. Copper comes in, he looks around, nobody in here, and so they go to leave, and she breaks out in song.
But yeah, that's because Mary Shelley takes over again. So she starts singing Marlene Dietrich, full-throated.
Was that intentional to get them caught?
I don't know.
Did
but
she want to just up the drama?
So the train's moving now. The cop jumps onto the car and they knock him off, and he ends up being killed.
Do you think that guy died? Yeah, he's okay. Yeah. No, he smashed his head against the rail.
Yeah, he'll brush it off. Don't worry.
Yeah, but this is where we're introduced to the two detectives, which is interesting, and I don't know. I guess we need it because it ties back into Ida's original story, but now all of a sudden you got this other subplot of these two detectives. Penelope Cruz is playing this Myrna. What the hell was her name? Was it Myrna?
Myrna.
And they're following the trail.
So I think that the movie comes to a screeching halt whenever these two detectives are on screen.
It's because you're invested with these two characters who are so enigmatic, and you just you can't keep your eyes off them. She's just a bundle of she's riveting. Like, he's unleashed a genie from this bottle, and he's like, oh, what the hell did I do here? Maybe I should have just stayed in Transylvania or where the hell I was.
The lead detective is Jake, and he's played by Peter Sarsgaard. Sarsgaard. Yeah, not related to Skarsgård, but this is Sarsgaard. He is Maggie Gyllenhaal's husband. So,
even more nepotism going on here.
Now, I think that he is miscast in this part because he usually plays very creepy, not always, but very creepy, like soft-spoken bad guys. And he does have a bit of Malkovich in his delivery.
Okay, I can see that, yep.
So I don't know if he's not trying, but this guy needs to be like Mickey Spillane, hard-boiled, and he is not.
Well, he's not, because he realizes pretty quickly that this is the girl that fell down the stairs, and he was semi-responsible for it. And it's like, we buried this chick.
But that's part of the reason why I just think the movie, because he has no energy. So
yeah, right. But then it becomes about Myrna, and and again back to this girl empowerment thing. All of a sudden, you have these women dressing like her, putting the makeup on the side of the face, like the Joker squad, like where people are obsessed with the Joker in the Joker movie.
But wherever they go, and the detectives figure this out, they go to the movies. So they figure wherever this movie stars, Jake Gyllenhaal's movies are playing, that's where they're going to be. So we had this cop that was killed from the train on its way to New York. Okay, let's look in New York to see where the movie is playing.
Yeah, New York's a pretty big place, even in 1935. But...
And I'm sure it has plenty of movie theaters, even in 1935.
Did you get the Blob vibes when all the people were running out of the movie theater at the end? Okay, good. I think that might have been intentional.
But so you got this one jerk teenager who's making out with this girlfriend.
Yeah, no means no. Take the balcony. Don't sit in the middle of the theater. Dude, you creepy mother. Ida/Penelope wants nothing to do with him. Whatever you want to call her. She wants no part of it. So she bangs him over the head and says, dude, no means no.
But what was great is, as you said, everybody's running out a la the Blob. They're all crying, monsters, monsters.
Right, correct.
And the detectives are like, you think this is the place?
Yeah, because they were staking out the movie theater across the street. Yeah. And like I said, this Ronnie Reed during that dance sequence is there.
Yeah, because that's
Frank gets to confront his hero, and this guy immediately shits all over him.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, never meet your hero, bro.
They run out of the movie theater to hide from the police, and that's how they end up in this, this lavish party.
Okay, I couldn't remember the chain of events. But again, he's probably in the movie theater more than we are.
He nerds out, Frankie does, right? When he sees Jake Gyllenhaal at this party that they're supposed to be waiters.
That's like if I'm walking around and all of a sudden there's Harrison Ford.
And you'd be like, it's me. I sent you through the mail my picture for you to autograph. Yeah. Don't you remember?
Don't you remember? And yeah, he's not very nice to him.
Emptying his heart out to this movie star. He's like, I credit you with my survival, he says.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, whatever. And he turns his back on him.
Yeah.
No, he says
he probably did smell.
No, he says you're not my type and turns his back on him.
And he gets a laugh from the crowd, and then he starts crying. Frank starts crying.
And that's when putting on the Ritz starts.
Because, we all break out. When my heart has been broken, I break out into a dance sequence.
Angry dancing, they call it.
Yes, yeah, angry dancing. Yeah, we were just missing the bad Tootsie here. That would have really sealed the deal. And don't get me wrong, it's a fun sequence, but if you're not ready for this, you literally are like, what am I watching? What is going on?
Yeah, I can't imagine somebody watching this that hasn't seen Young Frankenstein. But yeah, they end up shooting another cop because they come in, they bust into the detectives, and the cops bust into the party. And again,
I feel this was Mary Shelley kind of taken over a little bit because he had her point blank range. And she's got poor Jake Gyllenhaal on the floor. He's I'm sorry. You're mean to my boyfriend.
And now we get the big reveal. The detective sees the bride with his own eyes, and he realizes that Ida... she's the undercover whatever that he
prostitute with a heart.
That he used to get into that dinner party at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And then you find out this scumbag dropped the case but slept with her, saying that he would reopen the case.
Right. I think out of all these characters, he does have a little bit more of a story arc than anybody else.
Yeah.
In that he does realize that I'm a piece of crap. I'm going to give up my badge and I'm going to give it to the girl Friday over here who gets shitted on because everyone just thinks that you can't have a female detective.
They escape yet again, right? They escape the cops.
Yeah.
And now they're on the lam. They get tattoos. They keep going to the movies.
Yeah, this is a wacky montage.
Yeah.
Of them having sex for the first time. But then, they're, again, Bonnie and Clyde in a car, racing down the back roads, country back roads, getting tattoos, going to the movie theater, doing all kinds of, these guys are just living their life right now.
Yeah. And as you said, they get their money from jumping in wishing fountains and collecting the change.
Because how else? He's not getting a job at the movie theater.
Yeah. They start to have their picture in the newspaper, and this is when you see all the young girls making up and dressing like her. Women are starting their own crime sprees.
Because that's what she wanted to inspire. She's like, no.
The gangster who sees her picture in the paper, and again, this is the guy from Superman and Wonder Man. He's like, I thought you killed her.
Yeah, we did. We took care of it.
We took care of it. She is egregiously dead. We saw her hit every... Yeah.
She's most sincerely dead. We saw a house drop on her.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, I see her right here. She is obviously not.
Oh, and he just takes out the one guy, just literally bullet right through the head while he's eating.
In between bites of his spaghetti or whatever it is.
Like I said, he's a bad guy because he's eating with his hands. Use silverware, you piece of crap.
And then, of course, he tells the other guy, okay, now you're going to kill her.
Yeah, this guy's like, oh, okay, yep, got the message, boss.
So for the rest of the movie, this other gangster is following them as well.
He's just following the detectives.
Yeah.
This is like a mad world at this point. It's just the goofballs following goofballs.
And at some point during this gangster scene, you see jars of tongues.
Yes. Yeah. Give me your tongue.
So he cuts out women's tongues and he keeps them.
Ugh. Yeah. You got to go.
So, of course, if you are a moviegoer and you base your life decisions on watching movies, where would you want to get married?
Niagara Falls. Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Ronnie Reed, one of his famous movies, takes place. Yeah. Back to Superman 2.
So, of course, the cops are like, okay, let's look at the movies that this guy is in.
Yeah,
and they figure it out as well.
Pretty weird. They're like, well, this guy just keeps going to the theater. And they all have relations to the movies that this guy makes, Ronnie Reed. So let's just figure it out.
So they're on their way to Niagara Falls. They're in the car and they have this discussion. And she asks him, what was your proposal to me like? if we're getting married, what was your proposal to me
He
like?
is not a good improviser.
No.
No, he's like, shit, I didn't think of this. And you gave me a ring? Yeah. Well, why? What happened to the ring? Oh, we had to pawn it. Yeah, he makes it. He makes an oyster reference, which I think triggers her. She gets a little flashback to that mobster guy trying to force her to eat one.
Yeah, but she's like, did I say yes? Well, yes, of course you did.
Of course you did. You're here, aren't you?
Oh, and then that cop pulls them over. Oh, what a scumbag.
What is going on with 1935's men? Is this really how we treated women back then? If so, as a man, I apologize, because every man she encounters just wants to manhandle her.
Except for Frank.
Well, yeah, who's afraid of her?
Who's lying to her, so, he's bad in his own way.
Can I ask a question though? There's that scene where they're hiding out in like the empty pool. And she's trying to have relations with him. Did he not have a penis?
They do it later. That would make sense.
Yeah. Well,
I think he was just like
I think because there's a scene where she's looking at the scar, and I'm like, did they not give him a penis? Because that would be really cruel.
No, I think he was just like skittish. That's all.
Yeah, he had some performance anxiety. It's Frankenstein, not Frankenweenie.
They shoot the cop, they kill the cop, and then they run off.
Well, he deserved to be shot. I mean, unfortunately, his partner was also taken out. This is straight up Bonnie and Clyde crap, where they're just leaving. Same thing with Natural Born Killers. You made that reference. That's a great call, because they're just leaving dead bodies in their wake wherever they're going.
They're in Niagara Falls. The detectives catch up to him, and he yells, "Ida," the detective. Yeah, so now she's all confused. Yep.
Sure. Why'd he call me Ida? I don't know. Did you know her? Yeah, I slept with her. What? Yeah. Is this where they go to the drive-in? We can't even find a movie theater anymore.
But this is the first time that she says to him, "I would prefer not to," when he says, "Let's go." But she relents.
Oh, yeah,
she finally relents.
Yeah. Because where else are you going to go?
Yep. But the detective is like, this is where he tells the story where, I slept with her because we were going to close the case, and she really wanted to put this guy away because she hated him, and I told her I'd keep it open if she slept with me, and I knew it wasn't going to open the case. So he leaves the movie at that point. He says, I can't,
Yeah, he gives his badge up to Myrna. Penelope
Cruz, her delivery is just like, you can tell she's remembering dialogue, I'm not that down.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like you said, it does. When these two characters get involved, it comes to a little bit of a screaming halt because it just stops the momentum of the other two. And because she's treated like crap in her own job, she's clearly the brains figuring all this stuff out and going from point A to point B. And yet everyone's treating her like, a piece of crap because she's just a woman. And they don't, at one point, they're like, where's the detective? And she pulls out the badge and she goes, look at me. I'm a detective. A woman detective? Yeah, okay. So I don't know. I don't know if that was intentional because she's treated like that, but she does step up and she kind of leans into that woman empowerment thing as well. But only because he was such a piece of crap and stepped down. Otherwise, she would have just kept doing what she was doing and given him all the credit.
The climax of their relationship really takes place in the drive-in. So he finally lays it down. And the great thing, again, it becomes very meta. You see the conversation they're having in the car on the screen.
On the screen.
Yeah.
They become the characters on the screen because it's a romantic. It's in his head that this, you got 100 years of thinking about this. This is how it needs to go. And life never flows the way you think it does in a movie. So,
but he finally tells her the truth. He's like, "We found you in a pauper's grave."
What?
Born from the dead.
Dead good, living bad.
Then she says to him, and this is great, "You never knew me, but it feels like I've always known you." And she really did, because when she woke up, was reinvigorated. He's the first thing that she saw.
Sure, yeah. As much as she was repulsed by him, eventually she's like, well.
So this is maybe feeds into the idea of why they belong together. I don't know if she's resigned to just give in or.
Yeah, this does seem to be a little anticlimactic in her storyline that she's at the end, she pushing this female empowerment thing. And then all of a sudden it was like, well, yeah, I mean, this guy's been by my side this whole time. Screw it. I guess I'll stay with him.
Well, again, look at the men of 1930s.
Right. Yeah. Well, what are my choices?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is this where they make their way? He gets shot.
He calls her by her real name as she runs out of the car. Ida, I am the bride. And
yeah. And then she breaks out a katana and starts hacking them all to pieces. Where's Bill?
The 5-finger death punch. But then he asks her right there because, now the jig is up. He didn't propose. He proposes. Will you marry me? I would prefer not to.
Wait, no, that's not the answer. No, What are you doing? Yeah, sorry. On my terms.
But as you said, he gets shot. He gets shot in the head.
That's a pretty strong hit. I think there's got to be a plate or two in there holding that thing together. But somehow they make it back to the mad Dr. Euphorius. What's her name?
No, Euphronius is the doctor's name.
Okay.
The bride ends up bringing Frank back to the doctor because she escapes yet again. The detective follows, and the gangster is following her.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. Are you bringing him back to life? And Euphronius again doesn't want to. She's
this is where we get her story, where she's like, well, actually, my husband and I were doing these wild experiments. And it's like, it's a little too late. So she's a lot of fun, but she's out of the picture for a very long time.
Yeah.
You do get one little flashback where she sees the two of them on the front page of the news, and she's like, oh, crap.
The bride pulls the gun on Euphronius. Like, you're going to bring him back.
The bride pulls the gun.
And this is where she says, you love him? Because now she knows the truth. Yeah. You love him until the end of time.
Oh, I knew you two were made for each other.
Euphronius, like you said, tells her own story about her husband, who she had to put down because he didn't remember me.
This is like Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
I brought him back and he just wanted to kill me. It's like, yeah, I can't keep you here.
And the gangster busts in, the cops bust in at this moment. They shoot the bride 1,000,000 times.
No, she just gets filled full of lead. But again, she's already dead. She's been reinvigorated once.
But this is where Myrna, she clears the room. The gangster is now taken into custody, right? The cops are there. She's like, give us a moment. And she allows, she's like, suddenly maybe she's simpatico with her. So
I don't know. This is a weird turn for this character.
Yeah.
Like, because the other thing too, is you see Greta, the help, has the Ida tattoo on her face and the black tongue. So she's now part of the bride cult. So all about this female empowerment, all because of a dance. I don't know. But yeah, Myrna says, take all the time you want. We'll be right outside.
Myrna is probably a secret bride fan because, of course, she's been held back.
Sure.
The whole movie.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's a little bit of a tie in there, but give her time to pack her bags. No, give her time to reinvigorate them.
So the last scene we see of those characters, are their hands coming back to life and holding each other.
Yeah, you get that shot of everyone outside the building in Chicago, and that just pans up and you see the light flashing like she's pulling her experiment.
And close up of the hands clutching.
Yeah. So yeah, it would have been nice to cap this off with a Mary Shelley epilogue, just to kind of bring it back home. But whatever. We got the Black Monster Mash, which is a very goofy, uplifting song.
But I was thinking to myself, well, what happened to the guy with the tongues? And you find out what happened to the guy with the tongues.
Yeah, the women, those bride aficionados were feeding him the tongues.
They were doing something bad to him, and he deserved it, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And you see Sarsgaard there. I don't know if he set them on him or
Yeah, you
what?
don't
But
understand where they came from but
yeah.
maybe, yeah, he probably ratted them out. That probably makes sense. Bring his story full circle. So yeah, it's a movie. It is something.
I haven't felt this about a new movie since Joker 2, where I
Wow.
was excited watching it.
Yeah.
And again, sucker for couple on the run movies, and
Yep.
this is one of the better ones that I've seen. I will be watching this again. These performances, all
Yeah.
of them, bar the detectives, I'm still gonna say that they're
Can you just
probably,
fast forward through them? Can you just
yeah,
make our own
yeah.
edit at this point? Just cut them out.
I think everybody does. It's amazing. And it's unfortunate because I think the studio knew that this would be divisive, that it came out, so early in the year. Nobody's going to be looked at for any kind of awards come November or
Yeah,
December
it's
or
too early
whatever.
in the year.
Yeah.
But I thought I read somewhere or heard something that this was delayed because they wanted it to keep it away from the Del Toro's Frankenstein movie that dropped back in, I think, November.
Well, that it doesn't seem like that. Yeah, that's only been November. So
Right.
usually when they delay, it's like they put at least a year between the two. But it's funny that you should mention that because initially this was going to be a Netflix movie, just like that was.
Oh, maybe that's what happened then.
They chickened out. They at one point didn't want to foot the bill anymore. So
Interesting.
Warner Brothers took it over.
You would think it would be the other way around. You think Netflix is more willing to take chances on movies like this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow,
Well,
that's unfortunate.
it is unfortunate as well that it's not doing well at the box office.
Yeah, that is a very unfortunate. Yeah,
It's not surprising though, because this wouldn't be, I think, the general moviegoer's cup of tea. The budget was a lot. It was in upwards of 90 million. And as of this weekend, I think it's only gotten back 26 million.
ouch. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the second week. Like I said, there was only one other person on my screening, and I was worried that it wasn't even going to be showing the second week because it was already trending down the
Or at
first
least
week.
not showing, where you can see it. Like I was thinking, I
Correct.
hope it's
Yeah.
not only at 9:30 p.m., for only
Yeah, that
one
was
showing.
the
Yeah.
problem yesterday, Saturday, which is normally my go-to time. The first showing wasn't until 3:30.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
doesn't work for me. So,
Lots of mixed reviews, and most of them are leaning towards the negative, unfortunately, on this.
yeah, it's a hard nut to kind of put a label on.
Time magazine called it an intellectual joyride without the joy.
Oh, gee. Ouch, that's a backhanded slap.
New Yorker, the movie has the form of mismatched pieces stitched together and brought back to life more willfully than coherently.
But I think, you mentioned this before, and I think you're spot on with this, is the fact that it's an odd mix, and that's intentional. I think that because of the Frankenstein theme, that this is stitched together of these different elements.
Yeah.
And listen, if I didn't listen to that review, I might have come into this and just crapped all over it and just been like, I don't know what I just watched. But having lived with it and having gone in with low expectations, I was pleasantly surprised. I agree with you. This is a movie I would watch again. And I would try to probably get my wife to watch it with me because the main characters are spectacular.
Yeah. These are career high performances. So I think in the future, if you're going to talk about Jessie Buckley and Christian Bale, these are going to be up towards the top of movies that you bring up.
Again, I said riveting. You can't keep your eyes off her.
And I think that over time, it will be rewarded. Its renown will only increase over time.
Yeah. I'm there with you. And if you're on the fence, if you actually sat through this review and you're like, well, I guess I don't need to see this movie now. No, go see it. Check it out. See it for yourself. What are you looking at bucket wise? I feel like this is going to be pretty high for you.
I've been I've been taking some buckets away. I've been adding buckets over the past 4 days. So
Okay. After this discussion.
after this discussion, I would say four buckets out of five. 4 buckets out of 5 for
Which
the
is
bride.
super high for you.
Yes.
I'm right there with you. I was 3 3/4, 4, leaning back and forth. I'm gonna match you at 4. I really enjoyed this. The more I think about it and the more I live with it, the more I'm like, there's a lot more going on here than superficial dance sequences, silly stuff.
Yeah.
So, and especially after watching The Bride of Frankenstein, I had even more appreciation for it.
Yes.
Knowing
Yes.
what she was going for. And I'm like, because I was oblivious to that opening Mary Shelley, which she does brilliantly here, which you like, I mean, you see it and you're just like, what is going on here? But yeah, once you see the original and you're like, all right, I get what she's doing. So kudos
See it.
to Maggie Gyllenhaal taking shots, man, swinging for the fences on this one. And it looks like I said, everyone involved is acting their asses off, and it looks like they're having fun.
You know what? I think Jake would have been much better as the detective than the.
You know
he's,
what?
He's great as the movie star. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah, but he doesn't really have much to do other than just be eye candy for Frankenstein.
you know what would be more apt, I think, is if they cast the movie star as an actor that you don't really know.
Yeah,
Because when
the
you
minute
see him, you're like,
yeah,
he's Jake
I know.
Gyllenhaal,
Oh, it's Jake
right?
Gyllenhaal. Oh,
Yeah.
the director's brother. Nice going. I didn't realize the other guy was her husband.
Yep.
I guess that's what happens. You get $90 million.
You know what else? What happens on this show is we normally go to the concession stand in between these movies.
We do. And after two hours and change, it's like, all right, we gotta cleanse our palate here, get something to eat. So you were curious what I may be able to pull out thematically between these two movies.
Yes, I am curious.
All right. Well, in honor of our leading men and their cobbled together amalgam of pieces, I'm going to go with the ultimate road trip snack, the combo.
The combo. Oh.
Which I can't believe we didn't actually cover yet, but
Yeah, combos. Okay.
Yes.
I'm down with that.
so whatever. That's what I went for. So anybody who doesn't know what a combo is, it's really just a cylindrical tube of, well, it started out as a pretzel,
Yes.
but we now have crackers and tortillas filled with a variety of ingredients. So little tiny tubular pretzels, hollow pretzels. Most notably, I think the nacho cheese is like the number one.
I was going to say,
and I think
it's
that's
like,
the
is
first
it
one.
Cheese Whiz that's in there? What is in the combo?
Well,
What kind-
there does seem to be some mystery, and we'll get into it. But get into the late '80s when this thing was off and running, and there was multiple products in different flavors. Some I don't even remember. Some which have already been discontinued because they just sound disgusting.
Who makes it? Is it Nabisco?
So this is actually in the early 70s, was established in Battle Creek, Michigan by the Mars Chocolate North American Candy Company.
Oh.
Yeah. Stuffing nacho cheese inside a pretzel by making a hole in it, which sounds pretty simplistic.
And delicious.
And delicious. So the one thing I will find that this falls under my fun facts, which is the typical serving is 9 pieces. Are you kidding me? 9 pieces?
Is that what it says on the back of the bag?
9 pieces. I must be eating for a family of
Well,
10.
no. I know why it says that, because they try to make like the sodium content and everything else, because
based on
when it says, this is the below in little letters on the top, the below is based on 9 pieces. So initially you could look at it and say, oh, it doesn't have
it's
that
only-
much sodium.
yeah, until you eat a
that's-
bag and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this is like the the ultimate road trip snack. This is the quintessential. I can pop these in my mouth as I drive down the road, and yeah, you can easily go through a bag without even realizing it.
Yes, and then wipe your fingers on your shirt as you're
You gotta
chomping
lick
on
them
them.
off, yeah, and then wipe it down. Yeah. Isn't that what shirt sleeves are for?
Yeah.
So
Or-
apparently, the process in which these are created is a trade secret, and I found a message board called straightdope.com. How do they get the filling into combos? And there's some very interesting theories as to how they actually do this. So someone said, I just watched a special that showed them being cooked all the way through with no filling, and they say that the filling part is a trade secret. Okay, anyone have any ideas? Educated guesses on how it's done. Inject while the dough is still warm and soft, just like you fill a Twinkie, which I'm not entirely sure that that's plausible. Someone else said the shells were clearly done baking. I'm sure there's some sort of alignment and injection process. I'm just wondering how that might be accomplished. All right, this one, according to the PBS show, a central spout spurts out the filling while an outer section pushes out the dough, which expands and bakes and hardens around the filling. Both filling and shell, in other words, are extruded simultaneously in a continuous feed, which is allowed to harden, then is cut into segments. That sounds like a very convoluted process.
It does.
Another one claims that a commercial showed the filling sloshing luxuriously into a pre-baked shell. So no one seems to know. This one claims that they are all... Oh, here we go. The hollow pretzel bits come down the conveyor belt and are aligned, opening up before entering the middle stuffed filling room, where a bunch of guys with handheld caulk guns loaded with cheese spooge do the filling process tens of thousands of times every day to a high degree of precision. You think it's automated? But no. I'm like, I don't think that's true either. I'd rather believe that there's little Keebler elves in there making this stuff.
Or that Baron Henry Frankenstein is there at the end of the process, biting his nails nervously, looking at everything go by.
Or Lucy and...
Oh, yeah, Lucy shoving it into her mouth and into
There you
her
go,
shirt.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the early 70s, these things were first introduced, which aligns with my memory of these because I do remember my mom buying bags of them when we drove out to Ohio. So they are like the quintessential travel treat. 1980, they introduced the combo pretzels, and they became a quick hit. In 82, they introduced the corn quesadas, so more like a tortilla. And then in 1985, there were crackers. So I guess there's three different types. There's the pretzel, there's the cracker, and then there's like a tortilla.
But they all are in the same shape, right? The small
Yes, correct.
cylinders.
So they're all like those little Lincoln logs, like little 1-inch Lincoln logs, hollowed with cheese inside them.
Ooh, I wonder if you could make a little cabin with these.
Little cheese cabin.
And then, play Godzilla and eat it from,
Ooh, God. Heat them up.
Yep.
So in 88, the game changer was the pepperoni pizza cracker, which introduced a pepperoni taste with crisp oven-baked crackers. And quickly, they released a whole ton of flavors. Cheddar cheese cracker, which is, I think, pretty much a standard. Zesty salsa tortilla. Cheddar cheese pretzel. The pepperoni pizza cracker. Nacho cheese, which is, I think... Well, the nacho cheese and the cheddar cheese, I don't know. I'd have to do a blind taste test to tell you which one is which. I don't even know if I could tell the difference. Jalapeno cheddar tortilla, a buffalo blue cheese pretzel, which was a limited edition, and a pizzeria pretzel. I don't know what the pizzeria pretzel would be any different than the pepperoni pizza.
Yeah.
So,
Don't know.
but discontinued, are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Cheeseburger cracker. You injecting it with like meat? I'm
Yeah.
not really sure what's going on there. A peanut butter cracker, which I can't believe that's discontinued because one of my favorite treats are the little pretzel nuggets with peanut butter inside. Those
Maybe
are-
because it's already on the market.
Maybe they just couldn't compete.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is the oddest. Bacon, egg, and cheese cracker.
Oh.
That's nuts. Somebody must have been fired for that one.
Yeah.
They're like, what? 7-layer dip tortilla?
7 layers they can fit in there?
7-layer. Yeah, I guess. It's little tiny layers. Yeah. And sweet and salty caramel cream pretzel.
Sweet and salty. Okay.
Sweet and salty.
I see that.
Yeah, so it's more like a little dessert snack than an actual...
So has this from the beginning up until now been a Mars product?
Yes, I believe it still is.
Okay.
Yeah. Fun fact, 75% of all combo sales take place in gas stations. So
Yes.
right back to the travel.
Yep.
75% of all sales. That's a niche market right there. And I think when you walk into like these convenience stores and these little roadside gas stations, they're pretty much right in front of your face.
Yeah, they're by the register. They're by the register.
Yeah. The other fun fact is that the full shells are referred to in the industry as shotzels, and the empty shells are nutzels.
That sounds like a puppet show.
Yeah.
Shotzel and nutzel. Yeah.
Shotzel and nutzel. So I don't know about you, but when I eat them, I tend to bite them very lightly to break apart the outer pretzel. Eat that first,
and to expose,
and then to eat the cheese separately. Kind of I don't just bite down on those damn things.
There's a talent on doing this. So you put the whole thing in your mouth, you bite down on it in your mouth to separate the cheese.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Keep the cheese over to the side of your mouth as you.
It's a process, but again, when you're driving, you got nothing better to do with your time anyway, so you might as well perfect it.
Well, I'm gonna save that for 2 minutes from now. And I'm gonna,
you let it just kind of roll around in there a little bit. Your saliva's gonna soften up. That people are vomiting right now listening to this. So there you go. Combos. That's about the best I could do with a pairing.
That's pretty
with
good.
This damn thing.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I wish there were more fun facts, but there really just wasn't anything to bite my teeth into. So now we're going back to 1935.
We are with the first sequel to the original Frankenstein.
I recommend if anybody wants to watch The Bride, go watch this first. Because I do think it does change your perspective on what she was trying to accomplish.
Now, how did you watch this? Did you get a copy from the library, or?
Yeah, I had a Blu-ray.
Oh,
they actually had a whole version of the commentary, which I just didn't have. There's a making of featurette and then a bunch of other little snippets and I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks nice for 1935. You're talking like a 90-plus-year-old movie. It's got grain to it, but that's because it was shot, probably on 35 millimeter.
Yeah, my library did not have the blue, but I got the DVD, and it was same. It had a commentary. It had featurettes. Oh,
okay. Did you watch the commentary?
I did. I took a nap while it was on, so I kind of went in and out of it.
You're right. Yeah, there were some interesting little tidbits. Apparently, a lot of the people who worked on this movie were quite inebriated, notorious drunks.
Pretorius was notorious for that kind of a thing.
Pretorius.
So this was released also in spring, just like The Bride. But this was in April. So it came out in across the country April 20th, 1935.
This was coming off. This was a sequel coming off the 1933 Frankenstein.
31, actually.
31.
So it was 4 years.
So, yeah, the story is that James Whale did not want to make a sequel. Boom. Frankenstein, from what I understand, was like the equivalent of Titanic. Like, it was just a gangbuster movie. And the studio immediately wanted a sequel.
I think what they said in the documentary is, like, as soon as they got back the results from the preview audience, they started to plan the sequel. Wow.
Now, mind you, the main character burns to death in a windmill at the end of the first movie.
Is that how?
Or does he?
Is that how the movies always end? Like whatever structure he's in collapses
Yeah,
upon
sure.
him.
Well, that's the only way to get rid of a monster. Or at least these townfolk think so, because they're like, all right, he's dead. Let's go. I love this because not only do we get a flashback to the first movie that fleshes out what happened, but it picks up immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, all right.
Even before we get into the story, there's a note in the credits suggested by the original story.
Well, so we talked about this before, which was Mary Shelley did not write this. There's like a one line. This is like some of these, making a whole series out of Game of Thrones of a throwaway character that shows up in a paragraph. This was a throwaway chapter in the original novel about them creating a bride for him. But
it's not like the original Frankenstein was a note for note, recreation of the novel. They took liberties.
Sure. So it's different medium.
And this takes even more. The reputation of this movie, it's regularly called one of the greatest sequels ever made.
Yeah.
And a lot of people consider it's better than the original Frankenstein.
Well, it's definitely funnier.
Yeah.
Again, I'm watching this and I'm like, this is hysterical. Is it supposed to be funny, or has my brain just been programmed with all these spoofs? Because you can't not.
Oh no, it is supposed to. It's definitely supposed to be funny. Yeah. Now, and that kind of takes the wind somewhat out of Mel Brooks's sail, because you're spoofing something that's already a spoof.
Still.
As a kid,
you can't take anything away from Young Frankenstein.
As and I'm sure I can speak for you as well. As a kid, you can't get away from the universal monsters, right? Yeah. Even if you didn't see Frankenstein or Dracula, the full movies, you knew who they were.
Sure.
You knew who the bride was. You knew who Wolfman was. Yep. You knew who the mutant was from, whatever.
Yeah, Creature from the Black Lagoon.
The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Now, as a kid, I watched a lot of these, like It Came from Hollywood. There was a lot of shows and movies out there that were like greatest hits of monster movies. Like That's Hollywood was one of them.
Yep. Okay.
And you would always get clips from these different movies. And whenever they'd show the Bride of Frankenstein clip, it was always the end scene where she wakes up and rejects him.
Because that's the only scene she's in.
That's the only scene she's in. She's
got less than 5 minutes of screen time in this movie.
As a kid, I have never seen The Bride of Frankenstein, but I knew that scene by heart.
Yeah, because she hisses.
Yep.
And the hair, the iconic hair.
I finally saw the full movie as an adult. They were showing it actually at the Bardavon here.
Oh, wow.
As a double feature with The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Ooh, it's a great double feature.
The Creature from the Black Lagoon was presented in 3D.
I saw it in 3D back in the 80s. I remember it was like the local library or something was doing a showing.
And sometimes they'd show it on TV as well, and you'd get the glasses.
7-Eleven or something to get the glasses.
They'd be in the newspaper.
Newspaper? What's a newspaper?
Yeah. So The Bride was the second feature after The Creature. Mm-hmm. And I was astounded by this movie. The crowd was laughing uproariously. Yeah. It was, this is intentional. This is a spoof but yet there are scares here as well, if you want to call them that, given the time that this was made. People just listen to that story that Mel Brooks tells about young Frankenstein. Like as a kid, he's terrified of Boris Karloff and Frankenstein.
He would be. That makeup is horrific.
Yeah.
Well, he's much more, I think, sympathetic. I don't know. Is he more sympathetic in the first one? Like he didn't ask.
Well, he's still sympathetic. He's in both.
But now in this one, he talks.
But the funny thing is that the funny story that I got from the features is that Karloff is noticeably heavier in the second movie.
Well, it's because he became famous and
he's got money now. He can eat. Yeah.
And apparently in the first movie, he took his dentures out to give that sunken face, and he had to keep them in for this one because he was speaking.
What, did everybody have wooden teeth in the 30s?
think so.
He
I
wasn't
think
that
so.
old.
They just took out the bridge. Well, they didn't have good dental plans back then. It's like, yeah, we'll just take all your teeth out. That doesn't sound like fun. Just like in The Bride, you got one actress playing both characters. Again, kudos. Yeah, and so it opens up on this fantastic little miniature castle, and during a rainstorm, lightning, thunder. And here she is, Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley herself, hanging out with her husband. And who's the guy? Sir Byron?
The delivery of these actors, and this is probably,
This is very stilted.
normal in 30s. This is like old
It's
style
like
acting.
stage. It's like stage acting.
Everybody throughout the movie, everybody's rolling their R's. It's
Yeah. Also, is Sir Byron the Captain Tight Pants?
yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Who gives us the recap of the first movie?
And I think he calls himself like the greatest sinner in England or something, and which may not have been far off the mark. If you've ever seen Gothic, which is like a whole movie about this night, which is in turns disturbing and brilliant, and so I would recommend anybody out there seeing.
And you
Gothic.
also have, is it Ian McKellen, Gods and Monsters?
Oh
Right,
yes,
where he plays James Whale.
yeah.
And there's a bunch of behind the scenes footage of them filming this. So she's like this prim and proper little girl sitting there knitting in front of the fireplace. And they start making fun of her because she's afraid of the lightning. They're like, dude, you just spewed out this horror story, and yet you're afraid of lightning?
But they throw like a backhanded compliment at her. Can you believe that this bland and lovely brow conceived of Frankenstein?
Like he didn't know that. Like he had to throw it out. That you're that Mary Shelley?
Kind of, it subverts the legend, because the legend is that she wrote it at this gathering, but she's already written it here.
It was the next night.
But Byron starts to go through the story for us.
Yeah,
and this is where you get the greatest hits.
Movie.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, thank you very much. This is clever. I don't know if they've ever done this type of thing before, but catch me up.
And
Maybe you didn't see the first Frankenstein.
And she's just patiently listening. Are you done yet? Yes, I'm aware of all this. I wrote it.
Yeah.
But would you like to know what happens after that?
What? Yeah, gather around the fireplace, kids.
Yeah.
Because I have a story to tell you.
And it is unfortunate because I love this, like just the hamminess of these actors here.
Yeah.
It would be nice to see them come back at the end.
Yeah. And that's the end.
Yeah.
What? That's how they ends? That sucks. Don't write that book. Yeah. Right. Because she's telling them a tale.
But yeah,
come back and they're just passed out in front of the fireplace.
But as you said, it picks up right where the first movie ends, at the mill, at the old mill that burns down, and it's like burning to the ground. And you get Minnie, the old lady.
Oh, I like to refer to her as Frau Bluka.
Frau Bluka.
She is just this wacky old lady. She is the comic relief in this.
She is the MVP of this movie. Una O'Connor is her name.
Una? Oprah. Una.
That's the best fire I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, they were tickled pink that they got rid of that monster.
Yeah. Then the Burgermeister comes in with his big mustache.
There really was a guy called the Burgermeister.
Yeah. Did he eat hamburgers? Was that his job? The Burgermeister?
That mustachio, man. That was a big ass mustache.
And he announces to the rioters, "You're lucky they sent me to protect your property."
Yoke.
And then, of course, Minnie says, "Where were you when all the drowning and the murders?" And
right. Yeah, we got him now. Don't worry about it.
Yep. And then he tells her to shut up at some point. The old lady.
Well, like, somebody had to. She was just going on and on. So they're all happy. All these townspeople are happy. That's it. The mill's on fire. He fell into the fire. We're good. They
love a good mob scene, so they've gotten that out of their system.
Yeah. Home Depot down the street selling out on the pitchforks, and
they all walk away except for one local yokel.
Has to get close to get a picture. What he's got? Let me get a selfie.
He's like, no, let me make sure he's dead or something.
He immediately falls into the fire. And why is there a giant pool underneath the windmill?
Well, maybe
mountain?
Maybe the windmill is maybe powered by water. It's maybe connected to a well. That's what I was thinking. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure windmills, the whole point is wind.
Falls into the water.
Pouring. There's like a
Yeah.
waterfall down there.
And who's hiding in the water down there? But the monster.
I don't know if he's hiding. I think he was just like, what the?
No, I think he was waiting for them to leave.
He's just waiting for them to leave. The one thing I will say that I appreciate is that he actually has scars from the fire. His hair is burned off. If you look at what he looked like in the first movie. Yeah,
they point that out in the special features, and the fact that his hair grows throughout the movie. It grows back.
I don't know if I caught that.
Yeah,
that's actually pretty elaborate.
Yeah,
they went to that extent.
Well, Jack Pierce was the
makeup artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, this guy gets throttled and
so
drowned.
He immediately kills this guy. And then goes up and kills.
Well, yeah, he's one of the rioters. He's like, he doesn't like rioters by this point. But the lady is like, turns her head, give me your hand, give me your hand.
Oh, I know.
It's her husband.
And up comes Frankenstein.
Throws her in.
And then the old lady, she we mentioned before, like she pulls a Lou Costello. She goes running away, and I'm like, this is hysterical. 2 minutes in, and I'm like, all right, this is funny.
But yeah, I remember watching this at the Bardavon, and just the noise in that theater from laughter was
fantastic.
Was great, yeah.
But then she comes back and she's like, oh, nobody believes me. He's alive. All right, I washed my hands of it, and then she's just done. She's like, I saw him. He came back. Yeah, no, we killed him.
And then she walks into the party because Henry is still going to marry Elizabeth, Henry Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So he survives.
Alive, right. He's
and then Minnie walks into the house. I'm like, does she belong there? But yeah, I guess she's the servant of Elizabeth.
Yeah, because later when Pretorius shows up, like, first of all, if somebody's knocking on my castle door in the middle of the night, I'm not answering it. Come back tomorrow. Yeah. It's not that important.
But these sets that they're running through are huge.
Well, I think that was part of it, was that he was given a much larger budget with this movie. That was part of his, I'll come back, but you got to give me more money. Yeah, and those castle scenes were fantastic.
And when that carriage pulls up, that's young Frankenstein. That's that scene when the carriage pulls up in the beginning to the front doors.
That's the thing, which is there's so many references, callbacks to young Frankenstein where he just called from this. Do you imagine being one of those coachmen? It's like, all right, sit here. I'll be right back. It's like, I just got to sit outside with the horse, talking to the horse, waiting for a werewolf to come and take him out. I don't know. Doesn't seem like a good job to me. Nothing but the horse to commune with.
But yeah, Millie comes in. He's alive. He's alive. And everybody thinks she's nuts.
He's like, you're crazy. Yeah. Well, won't you go? Fred and Ethel, they didn't come back. What happened to them? You got them. I don't believe you. What a terrible wedding night, by the way. Well, we killed the monster. All right. You still want to get married? Okay.
And this guy, Henry, I don't know what kind of drugs this guy is on, but he is just, it looks like he is right out of Reefer Madness. He is trembling. He is, I could have bred a race. This is a divine plan. Elizabeth is, I don't know what she sees in him, to be frank.
I don't know. He's a doctor. Now, this is the same guy that was in the first movie?
Yes.
He's the same actor.
Same actor.
Okay.
And unfortunately, he died only 2 years after this because of his demons.
Oh, he was also a drunk. He liked I did read he broke his leg horseback riding. So a lot of his scenes are in the bed or on the chair.
Oh,
there was one or two scenes where he's walking and you can clearly see he's got a limp.
Yeah, this guy, he's got a lot of close-ups in this movie.
Right. But she's pretty unhinged as well.
This actress that played Elizabeth was only 17.
This is crazy. Like, you look at her and you're like, there's no way that girl's 17.
Valerie Hobson. Now, there's one of the more famous one-sheet posters of the original. Has a photo of the bride in the bottom and Elizabeth in the top left-hand corner with long hair looking like one of the brides of Dracula.
Oh, okay.
I always assumed that was a picture of Elsa Normal.
Oh, Normal.
But no, I realize now it's Elizabeth.
Abby Normal?
Abby Normal. So yeah, she was only 17, and I'm glad that Kip Winger was not on set back then. That's a deep 80s reference for you.
Yeah, poor Winger. Throwing Winger under the bus. But the girl who played the bride was only 19, or at least they said the character.
That's what they said. That's what they say. Yeah,
and I said, you're literally robbing the cradle. I don't know. Apparently, but yeah, this is where we're introduced to this Dr. Pretorius.
Yep. The
And you're like,
notorious
wow, at least now
Pretorius.
we know where the bride gets her hairstyle, because this guy was the unkempt.
Oh, and talk about hammy acting and rolling your R's. This
Yes.
guy is just chews the scenery every time.
Yeah, and the
he
old
is
lady
on
Minnie,
screen.
she has to walk all the way down. Yeah, fucking answer the door. I need to see the doctor. She's a very queer looking character here.
Yeah, this is like
you-
two caricatures trying to out ham each other when
Yes,
they are on
yeah.
screen together.
I'm more cartoony than you are.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
But of course, this is one of these characters that we've talked about before. He was a brilliant doctor of philosophy that was booted out of
was
the
boot-
university.
Who did I say?
Yeah.
Dude, just could not wait until the morning. Gotta come and give me your resume.
We must work together. Frankenstein has come to the realization that he wants nothing more to do with this, but Pretorius blackmails him. He says, this is technically your fault. Everything that's happened here.
Right. You're the one who made this thing. Fuck. You know what, dude? Get out of my house. What are
I'll
you gonna
tell
do?
them it was you. I'll tell them.
I think they all know it was me.
Yeah. Now you must come see my creation. He's like, right now.
Holy crap. I was not prepared for this. This is wacky.
I'm like, but he takes out this long box. He pulls out some jars, and he's got a king, a little queen.
A bishop, he's got a tiny dancer.
I'm thinking to myself, how the hell did he make these things?
A mermaid.
What grave did he pull these out of? And then
Where
he
did the-
explains.
Where did the king get the little tiny drumstick?
I know he had to make clothes for these things
Where are
too.
they pooping? And the king's trying to get out of the jar in order to and I will say, for 1935, the special effects are pretty damn spot on.
They are, especially when he drops the king back into the jar and
he
he
picks
falls
him up
into
with the tweezers and and I'm just like, this is like John Hammond in this friggin' flea circus story.
But he says that he's grown them like cultures from the laboratory. He grew them from nothing.
From nothing?
How?
Yeah, again, who made those little clothes? It's kind of weird. It's
they all
odd.
talk like chipmunks too.
Little high pitched squeaks.
It's like Ash's disembodied hand in The Evil Dead.
There you go. And friggin' Frankenstein's just like, dude, this is not science. It's black magic.
There's one that's a magician. He says, he rather looks like me.
He's self-absorbed piece of crap.
And then he says, achieving normal size for me has been difficult. That's why I want you.
He can only grow them tiny.
But it's like apples and oranges. It's like he's
Correct. Yeah. No, there's no correlation whatsoever. And so they immediately decide, well, the only way to, we got this stark raving murdering monster on the loose. Let's just make him we'll get him laid. Let's make him a spouse.
When they established this,
They didn't even know he was still alive.
Yeah, they
Right,
didn't.
no,
He hasn't appeared
because
yet.
Leave Minnie. They're like, you're out of your mind, old lady.
Yep.
No, he's still alive. So why would you do it? Yeah, there is a disconnect there.
But their idea is to have him reproduce to start a race of these beings.
How would that? Like, you're not gonna. I mean, it would just be a regular human.
Yeah, so this is why this had such trouble getting through the censors. They had issues with a lot of this, apparently. So there's much more that would have been in the movie that was cut out.
Oh, is there a director's cut somewhere? Or no? They just
no. They didn't.
They probably don't keep that stuff back then. It's gone forever. Oh, it's terrible.
So now Frankie is wandering the forest. He sees the little girl shepherdess.
Oh, this waterfall scene again. This is all shot on the sound stages.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
This waterfall, which is on screen for like a minute.
It's like the inside of Wonka's factory.
Yes. Oh, if that was chocolate, imagine that. Frankenstein still be there. Frankie would be like, I know where I'm going to be living.
Throw Augustus.
Again, you're laughing your ass off at these scenes of these stupid girls, and she's trying to get her little sheep. And
they couldn't go out of their way enough to make him sympathetic because she falls in the water and he helps her from drowning, and then he gets shot by the hunters because they think that he's attacking her.
Well, what would you think? You shoot first, ask questions later.
Sure enough, the mob assembles at a moment's notice as soon as they hear the monsters
They're just
back.
waiting off screen.
Yep.
Get the pitchforks.
And he
Yep.
he hides up on
Oh, he drops that boulder on them.
and it looks like that there was weight to that boulder.
Yeah, no, it did not bounce.
No.
It was fine. But they bring him down, and then they friggin' tie him to a log. And I'm like, this guy's having a real crappy week.
What are they
They
going
just
to?
tried to burn him in a windmill.
I'm thinking, are they going to eat him? Are they going to roast him on the fire
So-
on that log?
So here's the thing, which is I don't endorse violence, but if you finally caught this monster and you already got him tied to a pole, just catch it on fire. No, let's put him in a dungeon where he escapes immediately.
No, before they do that, they put him in the back of the cart to get him away. And I was expecting Inga to be in there. Would you like a...
roll in the hay. I expect this guy to turn
Yeah.
the camera at one point and just pull that Mongo just pawning game of life. Like it is a parody. It's like this dude is just having a real crappy week.
But the old lady is there. She's like the narrator almost of this movie.
Oh,
the
she
old
is
lady.
gold. She is
Yeah.
absolute gold. She's peeking in the windows. And they're like, get away from the windows. It's like, what's the point of having the windows if I can't peek into them?
But yeah, they pull a Peter Boyle when they get him to jail. They have him all chained up just like Peter Boyle's Frankenstein is.
Yeah.
But yeah, he makes short work of those chains.
Immediately, they're no sooner out of the room than he breaks the chains. And then we cut to the gypsy camp. So this all happens like in a heartbeat. They capture him, bring him back to the castle, put him in the basement, and he breaks out. And yet at the gypsy camp, all the women around the fire are like, there's a monster on the loose. No, they caught him. He's in the castle. It's like that happened like 2 seconds ago. How do you even know that happened? And now he's loose.
Apparently that scene wasn't initially in there, but there was like another dialogue scene with the other characters that slows the movie. So that's the thing about this, is that this movie moves. It's only 75 minutes and it is just entertaining from beginning to end. So there's this other scene in there and they just thought stop the movie. So they ended it and so they gave us
like
another
an
Frank
added
scene. Yeah. And so after this, because he's hungry, right? So he's trying to eat food. He finally comes to the blind man's house.
And again, this entire sequence, he's just like, it's Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Like he looks just like this guy.
And he's saying the same lines that Gene Hackman.
You almost wonder if you go back and compare it side by side, if it is the exact same dialogue.
Yeah.
But you're like, what is this guy's intent? Because he's like immediately feeds him. And then he's like, you need to sleep. And I'm like, what are you going to do to him?
Yeah,
like,
he says,
sleeping?
you will stay here. You will comfort me. I'm like, what?
Yeah, this guy's moving way too quick for me, man. My taste. I'm like, listen, dude, I just need a place to get out of the cold for an hour.
He teaches him to talk. Yeah.
Good.
Drink, good. And he's smoking up. He's smoking it up.
Fire bad. No, fire good. Fire bad.
Again, like, if you watch Reefer Madness and watch this, they're smoking in the same way.
Immediately tries to kill him with a cigar.
As soon as he starts
Secondhand
smoking, he's like, good.
And unfortunately, the hunters get lost in the woods and find a cabin. They come in to find him playing the fiddle.
But you know what he does not do that Peter Boyle did?
Burned his thumb.
No, he does not. When the music plays, like Peter Boyle tries to reach in the air for the notes.
Oh, he's catching the notes. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. They immediately shoot him. They're like, that's the monster. No, it's my friend. No, he's pretty much killed half the countryside, dude.
Yep.
That's not your friend.
And now, he's cost this poor blind man his house, which he'll probably never have
Immediately
again.
burns down the cottage.
Yeah.
Listen, no good deed, right?
Mhm.
I let you in my house. This is what happened. So we never see the blind guy again, which is a bummer.
But now he knows the word friend, and he is trying to find a friend for the rest of the movie.
I got a friend in you.
Yeah.
And he runs into Buzz Lightyear. But then he's on a run in the cemetery. And again, he's knocking over headstones and whatnot. And he hides in a mausoleum.
Well,
Like
yeah,
underground?
this is where he's at home, right? This is where he comes from the cemetery.
Well, just like he was hiding, like you said, he was at the beginning of the movie, he's hiding underneath the windmill in the water.
And who does he run into?
Dr. Pretorius.
But Pretorius.
Out grave robbing. Like I said, literally robbing the cradle with little 19-year-old girls.
So he is relented now to go with Henry's version of reinvigoration. So he initially, he doesn't work with dead bodies, but he's like, okay, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? Whatever.
Yeah.
But this is where, he's like, you make woman for me, friend. Make me from dead, love dead, hate living. And you're like, oh, this guy, someone's got to just put him out of his misery.
Yeah.
He didn't ask to be brought back.
But Pretorius is insane. He tells
Did you not see his hair?
He tells the murderers, that are on his payroll to leave.
Yeah.
So he can have dinner by himself on the coffin. So he's
right.
so he's getting drunk. He takes the skull out of the coffin and he's talking to it. And that's when
poor Yorick.
That's when Frank comes across him.
Oh, I thought I was alone down here.
And the first thing he asks for is a smoke. He's addicted.
Yeah, sure. Now he's addicted. Freaking blind guy immediately. Like I said, kill him with a cigar. Yeah, it might take 20 years, but yeah, he'll be down eventually.
So they have a conversation. You make man like me?
Yeah.
No, a woman. Yes. So this is where it gets a little bit cloudy for me. So the body that they use is what Pretorius finds in that mausoleum.
Yeah, correct.
The 19-year-old girl. No, then he says he's got a different brain. He's not using the brain in the body. He's using a different brain.
No, it's never really explained because you don't see. I mean, she's got all her hair. You don't see any sutures around her head.
We do know he does get a different heart because the murderer kills that woman on the street to get the fresh heart.
Oh, that's true.
So we know she's got a different heart. It was just the brain that I wasn't. Is that, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
you just go with it.
He says something. He makes some remark. She'll need to have strong bones to survive this.
You're gonna have that monster climbing all over you.
So Henry is still on the fence, right, about doing all this.
Yeah, so, I'm going to tell you right now, this Baroness has more balls than Henry does.
When Pretorius comes back, Henry's like, I've made up my mind. I'm leaving right now. I'm not going to do this. Perhaps this will persuade you. And in comes the monster.
Oh, you found him.
Yep. And
I guess that crazy lady was right. He is still alive.
You must do it. Never.
What?
Every time he did that, all I could think of was Phil Hartman on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yeah. Again, yeah.
It just shows how much this is seeped into our consciousness.
Yeah. And then doesn't he just have Frankenstein? He just has Frank kidnap the Baroness.
Yeah.
He's the only way you're going to do is if I just have him take her.
Yeah.
Now she's being held hostage.
By the murderers.
Yeah. Yeah, Pretorius is a piece of crap.
So he's forcing Henry into doing his dirty work here.
Yep. But this is where we get the rejuvenation, the reinvigoration scene. And I'm assuming it's all the same equipment. It's all the original set pieces.
If they had the same equipment to use in Young Frankenstein.
This has been sitting around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw the butt-birthed rhino in the background. I think that was Haydn. So, but all this high-tech gadget, and at the end of the day, good old Kite does his job, gets it done.
Ben Franklin up there, with his...
Ben. Good old Ben.
But,
beer in one hand, a key in the other.
Frank is getting a little randy and impatient because he comes in, he sees Henry asleep. He's like, work! And wakes him up.
What are you doing? I got a timeline here. Jerk.
So Pretorius drugs Frankie just to keep him out of everybody's way.
Sure enough, they succeed.
Now, the murder. So Henry insists before, they zap Elsa with the lightning. Henry insists on talking to Elizabeth. And so Pretorius brings this box over. He says, you may talk to her on this electronic device, which is a phone.
You invented the phone.
In my note, there's a line in here about an artificially developed human brain. So did he make this brain in one of his cultures?
No wonder why she was hissing like a loon. Huh.
What I took note of, which is fantastic, during this whole lab sequence, once they get the heart going, they put the heart in and then the table rises. Yeah. You can hear from that point on, I don't know if it's a kettle drum, but boom. Boom. It's very subtle. It's very subtle, but it's in the background during the whole sequence, which I thought was great. And the FX, the lightning, everything sparking and blowing up.
The sequence is fantastic. Yeah. This is what was missing from The Bride. they reanimated her way too easily.
Yeah.
In that first, it was like one switch, one lever.
But again,
although it only
sets,
took one lever here for him to blow up the entire castle. So
the set, it's practical and it's tall. It goes way up there.
Yeah,
the
you got
slab.
the giant pole that goes straight up into the sky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing there's a lightning storm like every 10 minutes in that town. I mean, if I had to reanimate something, I had to wait a long time. I can't tell you the last time we had a thunderstorm.
Frankie, the drugs don't work. He wakes up and goes right to the roof. He's like, what's going on here? Throws the murderer off the roof.
Wow.
The body gets struck by lightning. Platform goes down. Raise the cosmic diffuser, whatever that thing was. That was, yeah.
Cosmic diffuser.
And this is where we get the big line from Weird Science.
Yeah. She's alive. Alive.
May I introduce the Bride of Frankenstein?
You make beer for me, friend. She's like, I didn't come back for this.
Yep. Frankie, he comes in, she screams. They're like, okay, let's start from the beginning. They sit her down.
And it's amazing because she's only like 5'10" or something like that. They had to put her on stilts. She's like over 7 foot tall. Well, with the hair, probably 8.
But when she wakes up, the way that she's looking around at everything and the hair's moving every time she turns her head.
Yeah, no, she's otherworldly.
Yeah.
Because it's very unnatural, her mannerisms are great. And like you said, it's like we all know we've seen this character, but she's on screen like anything that you've ever seen, that's her. That's it. That's all you get in this fucking movie. Excuse my French.
If anybody knew, I have the ability, of course, as we all do, to see how much time. So I just curiously, as soon as she came on, I was like, how much time is left in this movie? Because I know, yeah. So I'm just thinking, if anybody was watching this for the first time in the theater, if they realized this movie has only 5 minutes left and this is the first time I'm seeing the bride. Yeah.
Right. This is like watching Jaws. You're like, I haven't seen the shark at all. No, you don't even get her point of view. Nothing.
So our first bride, again.
Yeah, we got
really not only
technically we had 3 weddings this episode.
So that really is what happens after The Bride of Frankenstein in 1935. But she's looking all around and she's selling the scar on her chin when she looks up because Jack Pierce is probably like, look up so everybody can see that scar.
Yeah, apparently he spent way too much time working on that. And I'm like, I think he just wanted to get in there and underneath your neckline. Frankenstein
sits next to her, tries to hold her hand. And she's not having any of it.
How weird was that? That, for me, on my Blu-ray, that whole shot of the 2 hands together is out of focus.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, just those shots. And I'm like, maybe that's what they had and they couldn't work with anything else. But it was just very obvious. Yeah, she immediately rejects him.
Yeah, she recoils and they drag her away to separate the two. And Elizabeth comes at that moment. And Henry says, and I am certain, 100% certain that Gene Wilder took this. Get back, he says.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Henry gets out, and the monster is strangely sympathetic towards Henry. You go, live. It says to Pretorius,
dead.
You stay.
Okay.
And this is when she hisses, when she realizes, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Don't pull that lever until after we leave. Let me get down a ways. Okay. Why was there just one lever that could blow everything up? It was like a failsafe.
But yet the building falls in around them and seemingly killing everyone.
That's it. It just ends. That's it. Like, again, it would have been nice to go back to Mary Shelley and the 2 guys just be like, really? That's it? So they all die? Well, no, the doctor and Elizabeth, and they live happily ever after and had kids. What?
Yeah.
Really? What? But we saw him survive the first time. What makes you think he's not going to survive this time?
But unfortunately, the bride never came back.
Screw her. She didn't ask to be brought back anyways. Although she was a teenager. She's like, I'm not hanging out with that creepy old man.
I would prefer not to.
Yeah. There you go. Full circle.
Oh, and I don't think we mentioned this for the first movie. Doesn't the bride mispronounce the Frankenstein name? She says
Oh,
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Yeah,
Yeah.
at one point, and he has a corrector. Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it Frankenstein? Frankenstein? Yeah, I did put in my notes, Godzilla gets more screen time than this bride. That's, she does get shortchanged. Yeah, like if you're going into this movie going, oh, we're going to see some cool undead chick action. It's like, yeah, you get none of it.
Even if you add the footage of her as Mary Shelley in the beginning, it's nothing.
No, not enough. It's crazy. She's title character. She gets no screen time. Boris Karloff got a payday, though. He made out like a bandit.
And he did one more movie after this as Frankenstein,
Oh,
Son of Frankenstein, and then he was done.
he didn't do any of the Abbott and Costello movies?
No,
Who played Frankenstein?
that was Glenn Strange.
Oh, it is strange.
A very apt name. Glenn Strange. What will he do for a living?
That's like George Glass. Yeah, my boyfriend's name is George Glass. It's entertaining as all hell.
I think it deserves its reputation as one of the greatest movies ever made. Sequels,
definitely for sure.
Even I think it transcends sequels. This is hugely entertaining.
And as we pointed out, it's so entrenched in pop culture that half the stuff that we've pulled from over the years, you don't even realize that it comes from this movie, not from the Frankenstein movie itself, especially Young Frankenstein. They pulled more from this than.
But the germ of the idea that is explored in our first movie is here. It's just a germ of an idea that this bride has her own mind.
Right. Yeah, we definitely didn't get enough of it. She didn't even have time to rebel, other than be like, I don't want this guy. If she hung out with him long enough and they were on the run, maybe she'd be like, you know what? He's not so bad.
Yeah. But yeah, this is hugely entertaining. I was so happy to watch this again.
Yeah,
I would say that this is probably, I would give this 4.25 buckets.
Wow. Okay. I'm actually going to stick at the 4. I think that the two of them together made for a pretty spectacular viewing.
Yeah. Yes, please go see The Bride and see this movie to really appreciate what's being done. Yeah,
no, I think it's mandatory viewing in order to truly. Yeah, I agree with you.
As is Young Frankenstein. That couldn't hurt either.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't go wrong by watching Young Frankenstein.
Yeah,
and any day of the week.
Right.
So I did see that the soundtrack for this was so popular that it was reused in the Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers serials.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like, screw it. We'll just use this. We'll use this. It's fun music.
It is, yeah.
So, apparently there was an epilogue shot with Mary Shelley, and it was cut. And as you mentioned, they just don't keep that stuff. They didn't keep it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a loss for time. James Whale and the studio psychiatrist selected 44 simple words for the monster's vocabulary by looking at test papers of 10-year-olds working at the studio. So I want you to just take a minute and soak that up. 10-year-olds working at the studio. Do we not have child labor laws in effect at that point?
Well, I'm sure that the reasoning being is that he doesn't have a very developed brain. So...
No, I get the concept. It's just the fact that you're cultivating this language from 10-year-olds working at the studio.
Are they coming to work with suit and tie and that type of thing?
I'm assuming that they're probably building sets. Maybe they were just like, they probably had like an on-set school. If you're an actor or whatever, well, my kid, we'll teach your kid. I don't know. I just found that really bizarre.
So this was a huge hit, unsurprisingly, when it was released, because this was like at the height of the Universal Monster popularity. Its budget was around $400,000, and it made $2 million at the box office. Critics also seem to be overwhelmingly positive about this movie.
So they saw it for the parody/comedy that it was?
I guess they did, yes. Let's see. Time Magazine says the film has a vitality that makes its efforts fully the equal of the original picture.
And this was a review at the time.
At the time, yeah.
Okay.
Oakland Tribune. It's a fantasy produced on a rather magnificent scale with excellent stagecraft and fine photographic effects.
Yeah, it's all practical.
Yeah.
It's all right there. I mean, you can't do it any other way back in 1935. And again, the fact that this was all shot on a soundstage is, you mentioned it before. The castle is just incredible.
Yeah.
And they're fleeting. The waterfall scene, it comes and goes. It's like, that's how many weeks did somebody spent building that? It's like, all right, we're done. So what? Wait, we're done. Yeah, tear it down.
Imagine how heartbreaking that is because probably the same people that built it have to take it apart.
Sure. I mean, I guess that's the nature of the business. And back then, you never thought about the longevity of it. They just, all right, let's build it down. Yeah, it worked. Yep. Waterfall works. I did see Karloff, the opening sequence fell when he was trying to climb out of the water well and dislocated his hip. So he spent this whole movie they just popped it back into place.
And I heard in the original, he hurt his back really bad. I don't know how, but
probably lumbering around with that big stupid head. I mean, the boots and all that. He's got to have like shoulder pads and shit, right?
Yeah. So what else did we do this week?
What else did we do? I spoke way too much, so let's see what you did.
I had a fantastic movie-going experience.
Oh, okay.
In Rosendale, New York.
Okay.
They had they had a double feature.
Okay.
Of two Godzilla movies on the big screen, two classic Showa era Godzilla movies on the big screen. It was Monster Zero, which is also known as Invasion of the Astro Monsters, paired with Godzilla versus Hedorah.
Oh, that's up there. That's your favorite.
That is my favorite. That is the reason that I went.
Sure.
We've covered Godzilla versus Hedorah, or Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, as I like to call it. We have not yet covered Monster Zero. But let me just set the stage before I discuss the actual showing of the movies themselves. Small theater. It is a very old theater with, old seats, old uncomfortable,
nice
very
charm. Yeah.
Very thin, cushiony seats. So you could tell this theater was from like the 50s or 60s. And it is a single screen theater in this little town of Rosendale, New York. It was sold out.
Oh,
and
that's good.
Yeah, the crowd was, for the most part, older gentlemen. About when I say older, I guess my age.
My age, yeah. We might as well just lean into that one. Yeah.
A lot of them were coming in packs of 4 or 5 guys together. Huh. Maybe childhood friends that are, watching these movies.
Grew up. Yeah, those 2 or 3 kids that you were friends with who were into Godzilla back in the day.
And there were plenty of guys bringing their wives. Only a smattering of kids in the movie.
Really? Oh, that's too bad.
Only a smattering.
Yeah.
And some, younger hipsters that are jumping on the Godzilla bandwagon.
Listen, you got to get a new generation going, so.
But
whatever.
it was body to body. There was not one unfilled seat. So
those seats are so small that you can't even put your elbows down without being on top of someone else's.
Exactly. Arms. So if somebody else is putting their arm on the armrest next to you,
you got to put your hands between your legs, basically.
The thing starts. It's got 30 minutes of just Godzilla clips. It was advertised as. It wasn't trailers. It was actually original. It was original animation. It turned out to be of new footage that like fans had made.
Oh,
and a couple of them were obviously inspired by Cloverfield, where it was like actually
more like a handheld,
real footage of somebody running through a city, and then a big CGI Godzilla up above them fighting another monster. And it actually a couple of them did look really good, like professionally done. And then they showed a clip of the long lost unofficial movie called Godzilla versus the Wolfman.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Bambi.
Which I don't know who made this, but it wasn't Toho. It was made.
I think we talked about.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
made in the late 70s, and they used the same Godzilla suit that was in King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was just like a big wolf man that he fights. And it had like maybe 10 or 15 minutes of footage from this movie, which I had never seen before. So it was
Not
fantastic
even
for
online.
me.
You never
Not
seen
even
it
online.
So
Not
you knew
even online.
immediately what you were watching.
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
don't give you like heads
And
up like, hey, oh,
no,
by the way.
there was a little, while they were showing it, it said on the bottom corner, footage from Godzilla versus Wolfman never released. It said
Okay.
underneath it. Yeah.
So was this, so to refresh my memory, so was this like just somebody had access to the studio and grabbed the costume?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
just hand filmed it. They're like, let's go and sneak in there and make our own film.
I don't know if they ever thought it would be released because Toho is notoriously tight on the rights.
Where'd
and
the
stuff.
Wolfman costume come from?
Maybe they made it. It didn't look familiar to me.
Oh, so it wasn't like something you saw.
Yeah, it was like a big white wolf kind of a thing.
Huh. Okay.
But anyway, the movies are presented in their original Japanese, so it was subtitled.
Okay. Cool.
Now, this is the problem because it was not a modern theater, so it didn't have the same sharp incline that theaters do today.
Oh.
And a lot of these guys are, just giant heads sitting in front of you.
So you can't see the dialogue.
Exactly. So we had difficulty seeing the dialogue
like
because the heads are in the way.
Sure. Now the people behind you are doing the same thing because you're
I'm like
craning your neck.
And I'm thinking in this case, it would have been much better if we sat in the very front row than here.
Who knew?
So, the thing is that the first movie is not the greatest of the original Godzilla movies anyway. It's heavy on the talking, and it's probably the movie that has the least amount of monsters in it altogether. A lot of people were, during the talking scenes, like you could hear people that hadn't seen this movie before. Where's Godzilla? Where are the monsters?
Right, exactly what I was saying before.
So this was actually
where's the bride?
It was great that they showed this first because this separated the men.
Yeah.
Oh, it separated the men from the boys actually, because a lot of people after this movie was over. Because there's a flurry of monster action at the end, and it was great because everybody cheered during the monster action. A lot of the people left because they're like, I can't sit through another one of these. Suddenly, the heads were gone. And I was sat and treated to my favorite Godzilla movie.
Fantastic.
And probably the best situation I could think of.
Huh.
And the people that stayed were the diehards that knew this movie.
What you were in for, yeah.
And it was like a Rocky Horror experience. They were cheering. It was like the laughing during the Save the Earth scenes and the fish heads and
the opening,
Hydra
the discotheque dance.
Hydra crapping on Godzilla and at the very end when Godzilla is stomping on Hydra and pulling him apart and. The crowd was uproarious in applause at the end. So
that is fantastic.
It was one of the greatest cinematic experiences I have ever had.
Very cool.
Because
you probably never saw that in the theater, right?
No, and I probably never will again.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah,
that's cool. I'm glad that. Too bad I missed that.
Yeah,
I know you had sent me. Rosendale's not right around the corner for me, so.
If they had reversed the running order, it would have been terrible. It would have been terrible because I wouldn't have been able to.
They probably knew what they're going to save the best for last. But
yeah,
it's too bad. People are like, enough of this. We'll go home and watch this stupid thing. So, you wonder if the same thing. People, well, I guess not because The Bride was a hit, but people like, where the hell's The Bride? Wait for the last 5 minutes. Well, I did not go to the theater. I did find a behind the scenes documentary on Prime. What We Left Behind, looking back at Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Oh, really?
I know we don't talk a lot of Star Trek on here. And Deep Space Nine is one of those shows that kind of goes under the radar when you talk about Star Trek. It had a lot of, it was right around the time when TV shows were first starting to get syndicated and it was hard to find. It wasn't you weren't on a starship going from planet to planet. It was a space station. docked outside a wormhole, and there was a lot of heavy religious themes and whatnot, but it was one of my favorite shows, and this thing's like 2.5 hours long, and boy, they brought everybody back just to kind of reminisce and talk and really dig into putting the show together and a lot of the drama that went on. But the neat part is they brought back a lot of the creators, Ron Moore and some of the directors and whatever, and they basically map out, like, if this show came back, where all these characters would be now. And they kind of they give you little chunks of this brainstorm session throughout the documentary, and they animate it. So they show you, like, the characters, like, well, Nog's going to come back and he's doing this, and Kira's now in charge of this or what. So they've updated all the characters that are proper ages and what a new season or what a comeback movie might be. So it's kind of interesting. It was fun. I really enjoyed watching it.
Okay.
So, like I said, it was well over 2 hours, and it took me 2.5 nights to watch it all.
Right.
So, and I didn't even know it was. I knew nothing about it. I just happened to stumble across it. So,
yeah.
I'm like, okay. Deep Space Nine. Yeah, I loved that show back in the day. Avery Brooks.
Yeah.
Captain Sisko.
All right. So, what are we doing next time?
Are we playing hide and go seek again?
We are still in the world of female-driven horror.
Yeah.
We are playing hide and go seek again.
It's not Ready or Not 2. It's Ready or Not Here I Come or Here We Come.
I think there is a 2 in the title,
there a 2?
as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
But it has the subtitle Here I Come after it. Yeah.
All right. Which makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to make a sequel.
Yeah. And again, this looks like it takes place exactly where the first one leaves off.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. It looks like exactly where it left off at the first movie.
Yep. Which
is interesting because, once again, you get a bride who's, just gone through the ringer. So we'll see. The first one's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
And Samara Weaving. And this time her sisters, is it Jenna Ortega?
No,
it was her sister.
No.
Am I confusing movies here?
You're confusing movies. I don't know offhand who plays her, but we'll know. We'll know next time.
Yeah. You'll have to tune in to check it out. But I'm very excited for this pairing that you came up with.
Yeah, well, the second movie does not have another bride in it, but I thought tonally it's probably very similar. From Dusk Till Dawn.
Now, this is Quentin Tarantino's in it as an actor.
He did not
direct it. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Robert Rodriguez directed this. And George Clooney.
George Clooney's in it as well.
Harvey Keitel, Cheech Marin. And it has one of the biggest, talk about movies that just turn on a dime and become something completely different.
Yeah.
Tonally.
Salma Hayek,
who this may have been, was this her debut?
No. That was Desperado.
She left one hell of an impression. That's all I gotta say about this.
Also in a Robert Rodriguez, she made Desperado with him.
She was in Desperado, you're right, Antonio Banderas, which was a remake of his earlier student film El Mariachi.
Yes, and lest we forget that makeup master Tom Savini himself is in this movie.
Yes, yeah.
As well as Danny Trejo, El Machete.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about some Robert Rodriguez movies because we have not really talked about him, and I think that we haven't seen much of him lately.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, it's too bad. My kids, we grew up on those Spy Kids movies. And the fun thing with those movies is that at the end of each video, he would have he had his own studio in his house, and he would do all the special effects himself. So you do like these little rundowns and tell you how he made special effects. Now they don't hold up. Some of them look really cheesy now, but Spy Kids. And then he also made the Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Based on his 8-year-old son's story.
Right.
Yeah, if only I had a dad who was in the movie industry. It's like, Dad, I have an idea for a movie. All right, let's make it.
Okay, let's make it. Yeah.
Doesn't mean you should. Yeah. It's not a good movie.
Yeah, no. My idea would have been like, get this. Boba Fett survives the Sarlacc pit.
There you go. That's crazy. No one's ever going to buy that. So there you go. Ready or Not To and From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yes.
That's a hell of a pairing right there.
It is. So we'll have that for you next time. But thank you for listening today.
Yes, thank you. As always, appreciate it. And go check out The Bride. Give it some love because I think it definitely deserves it. You may or may not appreciate it, but still deserves checking out.
Thanks.
Yep.
Bye. If you like what you just heard, be sure to follow TMI Confessionals of the Nerd Kind on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, or whatever you listen to your podcasts on. Also, be sure to email us at tmipodcast2018@gmail.com.
You can also follow us on all of our socials. We're on Instagram, X, Facebook, Threads. Just go to tmiconfessionalspodcast.com. All of our links are there. And leave us a 5-star review. See you at the concession stand.
Oh, imagine like pulling that Regal card out and it's got pus from his wounds on it.
Where do you think he keeps it?
Oh.
Nice to see you back, Frank.